Afternoon, good evening, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key and we are live for Manchester City, the champions, no longer the champions, at home against Bournemouth. Big game, I think, for both teams this one, given that City find themselves currently in 6th. I mean, admittedly, they are only a point off third, but they are going to have to... They're going to have to get a result tonight, the champions, because they are still in for a fight for getting Champions League football next season. And not just that, Bournemouth find themselves in 11th, but if they were to win, they'd only be 2 points off a European place potentially themselves. Maybe it'd be Europa Conference League, but it would mean that Chelsea winning the Europa Conference League against Betis would open up a spot for them. So for Bournemouth, it's a big night. For City, it's a big night. I think anything other than a win for Bournemouth probably does end their European hopes. They're going to have to come here and have a good go. They've got nothing to lose. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know in the chat what your predictions are. I want to talk about all sorts tonight. It feels like we've had loads of news come in over the last sort of 24 hours since we were last live. We've had all sorts. We've had Manchester City themselves approaching Milos Kerkez. We've had Liverpool and Florian Wirtz. That's taken another whole twist. All sorts of other stuff going on. I've got absolutely loads to talk to you about tonight. But I do want to get your predictions. Thanks so much for joining us. We've got chat coming in already. We've got chat coming in Twitch and various other places already. But first off, I do want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, of course, Match Bingo. I've got to say, there's not long left now. The season, there's only a few games left for you to take advantage of this. If you deposit £5, if you set up an account with Match Bingo on the link in my description, if you set up an account and you deposit £5, you get £10 free. You don't have long left to do it. Go and give it a whirl. It's absolutely brilliant. If you love a game of bingo, even if you don't love a game of bingo, it's cracking. It combines all the fun and excitement that you associate with a bet on the football with all the fun and excitement you get from a game of bingo. And for a game like this, it's absolutely perfect. You can buy a bingo card and it gets 15 random events on it during the game. Things like Manchester City corner, Bournemouth free kick, and as they happen during the game, you'll see them ticked off on your card. You win prizes for a line, prizes for 2 lines, prizes for a full house, the same way you do in bingo. And it's fantastic. There's been over 200 grand already paid out via Match Bingo, and there's over 10,000 players across the UK, and it's growing incredibly quickly. So if you do want to take advantage of that, if you do want to support the channel, go and click on the link, or you can scan the QR code that's on screen at any point. Just make sure you go and do it very quickly, because as I say, we have a matter of days left for you to take advantage of that, and it means a lot if you can. So, yeah, please do go and take a look at it. But other than that, let's get stuck into Manchester City against Bournemouth. I want to hear your thoughts. Really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Very big game for both teams. Micah Richards, Jamie Redknapp, at the Etihad there, and yeah, I want to see the team news. Apparently there's some big team news coming in as well, so let me know your thoughts. Let's just get going live on TikTok as well. Let's get going live on TikTok. Callum, how you doing? Good to see you, Callum. Rodri back for City. Callum32 City, Substub, yo, how's it going? Good to see you. Random videos. Good to see. Listen, mate. Hey, listen. I understand random videos. I'm exactly the same, in exactly the same position at the moment. So yeah, I know where you're coming from, mate. So listen, whatever makes you feel better. I appreciate you being on the channel, and yeah, hope you're feeling better and all that sort of stuff. But let's hang on a second. What's going on here? Yeah. So sorry. Where was we? Rodri's back for City, you were saying. Yes, Rodri's back for City. So, there is another game taking place tonight as well, by the way. I forgot to say, Crystal Palace against Wolves is also happening tonight. Manchester City and Bournemouth is obviously happening too, but we've got in the team Rodri back on the bench, as well as Oscar Bob as well. Oscar Bob is another one who's very well thought of at Manchester City. He doesn't seem to be getting too many opportunities. I do wonder whether or not he might move on himself at the end of the year. I do wonder. But here's the lineups. Let's go through them very quickly. We will go through them again before kick-off. We've got just under an hour to kick off, so there's still bags of time. The Etihad is still filling up. It's pretty empty. I mean, that could be the same at kick-off we know what City's like. But we've got Ederson in goal. We've got Nunes, Diaz, Akanji, and Gvardiol at the back. Gundogan and Kovacic at the back with in the midfield with Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, and Marmoush behind Erling Haaland. It's probably City's strongest team. That's probably City's strongest team that they can possibly name, I would argue. Maybe O'Reilly in there. There's maybe only O'Reilly I'd put in there, and obviously Rodri if he's a little bit fitter. But other than that, there's not really an awful lot you'd change, is there? There's not really an awful lot that you'd change there. To me, that's a pretty strong Manchester City team, and I don't know that I'd change any of them. For Bournemouth, it's Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Again, what's going to happen with him at the end of the season? What happens with Arrizabalaga? He's on loan from Chelsea. Does he go back to Chelsea, do we think? What happens there? Kirkez at left back. Obviously, City being linked with Kirkez today. Liverpool obviously being heavily linked with him too. Apparently, City have made an inquiry today. That's the state of play as it stands. I mean, he's at the Etihad now, so if that deal hasn't been done by Liverpool, you'd imagine. He's on enemy territory right now. This is exactly where we don't want him to be, and maybe the City higher ups, the guys behind the scenes, will be catching Milos Kerkez as he's coming off the pitch in the tunnel and saying, "Listen, Milos, come to Eastlands, come to the Etihad. That's where we need you." So I'd be very, very surprised if Liverpool don't quicken the pace up on that one. We really need to get that done. Hyson is playing ahead of his move to Real Madrid. He starts tonight as well, alongside Zabani and Araujo at the back for Bournemouth. In midfield, it's Lewis Cook and Adams, and then it's Semenyo, Kluivert, Tavernier, and Evan Nilsson as part of that front four. It's Kevin De Bruyne's last ever home appearance at Manchester City. He's been Player of the Year at City for 4 years, 30-plus goal involvements in all competitions in 4 seasons. Premier League playmaker, honestly, he's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I still can't believe that City haven't renewed his contract. I don't think you find many better. Even if do you know what? Florian Wirtz for 100 million or Kevin De Bruyne for free. Honestly, I know Wirtz is an investment for the future, but I'll tell you something, he's better right now. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Right, let's catch up on TikTok 1 second. I can see stuff coming in on TikTok. Apologies. Yo, Ethan, how's it going? Premier League Dad, keep an eye on TikTok. Yeah, will do, mate. To be honest, YouTube is where most of the chat comes in, but I have to bounce between the two. So it's usually I have to keep switching between the two to see where it's all happening and coming in. So yeah, it's not always the easiest. Geordie Rob, the Liverpool fans were celebrating their loss as apparently they were celebrating Trent leaving. Well, yeah, did you see the video of Trent? Did you see him looking at the Liverpool fans like it was an affront to him, like it was a personal affront to him? He looked miserable, didn't he? I really hope he's not part of that final day. Lee Walker, good to see you, Lee. Lewis Cook, Leeds boy he is. Good player, Lewis Cook, yeah. Ethan, 4 gifts. There you go. Cheers, Ethan. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that. Jake Curtin, multiple good sources linking Gordon back to Liverpool. Arsenal and Chelsea also interested. 80 million quid. Not 80 million. We're not paying 80 million for Anthony Gordon. Not after the season he's had. And to be honest, again, I can't see him going to Arsenal. I can't see him going to Chelsea. Both of those are overloaded with wingers. Liverpool are potentially looking to sell at least 1, maybe 2 wingers. So that makes sense for Liverpool, and obviously he's a Liverpool fan. So it does make a lot of sense him coming to Liverpool. We were strongly linked last summer. I think we'd have to be looking closer to 60 for him this summer. Not paying 80 million for Anthony Gordon. That's a mad fee. No skill Aaron United. Geordie Rob, we performed poor, mate. Are we ready for tomorrow? Absolutely, I'm ready for tomorrow. Looking forward to it. You bet. Callum prediction, 2-2. City 2, Bournemouth 2, I think, tonight. Yeah, let me know what you're thinking on that one. Callum thinks 3-2 City. Kirk has his defo LFC barn, says Callum as well. And Callum also thinks Palace to win 4-0 tonight against Wolves. Do you think so, Callum, after the hangover from the FA Cup final? It is back at Selhurst Park. I'm sure they'll be parading the FA Cup. They're on about doing a trophy parade around Selhurst Park, but I'm sure they'll be actually bringing it out on the pitch. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Substud Palace to win 7-0. Oh, God. Lee Walker, Gordon isn't a top 4 player. Ooh, I don't know if I agree with that. Last season he was. Last season he was a very, very good player, Anthony Gordon. Yeah, he was a good player. Jake, Newcastle won't sell for less. Why he never went last summer? I know, but he never went last summer, and then he's gone on to have a pretty... I mean, maybe not an average season this season, but he's not been particularly good. I mean, look, Harvey Barnes has been keeping him out the side in the Newcastle team over the last few weeks, and also, to be fair, like... I just don't think he's going to be an easy... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Liverpool really need Anthony Gordon. I think Anthony Gordon wants to move to Liverpool quite desperately, and I think Newcastle probably, maybe in part, need the money a little bit. It's probably an element of Newcastle needing the money, because, you know, the FFP thing that not that long ago, they did that whole cloak and dagger thing with Nottingham Forest, where they ended up signing a goalkeeper for 25 million quid who's crap, and selling Elliot Anderson for 40 million quid, and, you know, Yankuba Minter going to Brighton and all this sort of stuff. So that's still sort of lingering around Newcastle, and they might yet not even qualify for the Champions League, so that money isn't guaranteed. So I don't know, I guess it depends with Newcastle. Obviously we know the money that they are backed by, but it's entirely different having the money and being able to spend the money. That's the thing. They've got to still do it in line with PSR and FFP and all that sort of stuff. So there might be an element of Newcastle needing to sell. Lee Walker, no Cunha, is there? Is there no Cunha? Is Cunha not playing against Palace tonight? I've not seen. No Skill Aaron, for that money, just go for Rodrigo. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think if I was tempted to go for anyone, it'd be Rodrigo for a wide position. I'm not sure I'd want Anthony Gordon over Rodrigo anyway. Callum, you think Pep will bring Rodri off the bench? Yeah, I do. Last game at the Etihad, I mean, there's rumours that Rodri's going to leave this summer as well. Rodri might be going back to Spain. Jake, to be fair, Barnes was only in because Gordon got banned for 3 games and got injured. Yeah, and then he come in, didn't he? And he kind of... He hasn't really knocked Barnes out of that position. So, it's that... Yeah, for me, I just don't think Anthony Gordon's done much this season to justify 80 million quid. Ben, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Yep. Score you thinking about City tonight? I said 2-2 a couple of minutes ago, so I'm going to stick with that. Yeah, City 2, Bournemouth 2. I think Bournemouth have to have a good go, and we know that City have been quite vulnerable recently. Jake, Newcastle sold over £100 million worth of players in the last 3 windows. Will spend way over 100 million in the summer. I don't know. Maybe not. You never know. Maybe not. We've been hearing this from Newcastle fans for the last 3 years, and it's never really quite been the case. They're still having to balance the books a little bit. Who in Spain has the money for Rodri? Whether or not you consider Rodri to be big money anymore. I know it wasn't that long ago he won the Ballon d'Or, but he hasn't played for pretty much a full season. And I think there's maybe an element of... Again, you never know. You never know how players recover. You never know how players recover from such big injuries. I'm sure that Pep Guardiola and the others will have assessed him, and maybe they'll make a decision on him at Man City. There might have been a frank conversation where actually there was talk of Rodri moving back to Spain not that long ago, even before the Ballon d'Or. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not suggesting for 1 second that's happening. I'm just saying there's been a lot of rumours recently that actually he might do, and I'm now thinking, okay, well, how would you justify those rumours? Well, the rumours could be because he's maybe not the player that he once was. A big injury sometimes really does knock a player, doesn't it? Really knocks a player. Lee Walker, Boscagli has signed for Brighton, apparently. I mean, he's available on a free, isn't he, Boscagli? Done well at PSV, but I'm not sure that he's... Yeah, again, I'm not entirely sure that's a great signing, but not a bad one. He's still fairly young. Callum Miller-Lloyd, Kelly sold for 17 mil plus add-ons was outrageous. Yeah, and you picked him up for free as well, so that's good. That's good. Sisig, he hasn't played a game since the injury, so we'll soon find out. Yeah, well, assuming that he comes off the bench tonight, of course, yeah. Nick A13, is Crystal Palace going to win? I've gone for Palace or draw in that one. Palace or draw, City or draw. I've hedged my bets. But yeah, Palace or draw, City or draw. I've gone. And I've combined it with Spurs to win the Europa League tomorrow night. Have a bit of that. Callum, knowing Pep, they'll bring Rodri off the bench in the first 10. I feel Pep's next quest has to be Italy. Well, do you know what? That's another thing. There was a lot of rumours in the last couple of days about Jurgen. I know his agent has come out today and said there's nothing in it, but there's a lot of very, very strong rumours from some very credible sources that Jurgen Klopp has been talking to AS Roma. AS Roma. Now, imagine that. I mean, again, Ranieri's leaving Roma at the end of the season, allegedly. He's done brilliantly to get him just to the cusp of Champions League football. Taking them from down near the bottom as well. So, Jurgen Klopp going to Italy. What do we think of that? I mean, allegedly there's nothing in it, but you never know. Nick A13, City will win 1-0. Callum Miller, thing with Boskagli is he's fast from what I saw, but he's not physical enough. Yeah, he's a little bit... He's very... What's the word I'm looking for? He's very good on the ball. He is quite quick, you're right. He's very good on the ball. He can play full-back. That's how quick he is. He can play full-back. But yeah, I think the physicality element in the Premier League might just catch him out. But then, Brighton need a little bit of pace at the back, don't they? They've got Dunk, they've got Webster, they've got Van Hecker, they've got a lot of players there at the back that are quite tidy, but there's not a lot of pace. They can lots of box defenders, but maybe not a lot of pace. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure that they're. But for free, you'd have to say it's very, very unlikely that that's going to be a risky one for them. Sorry, we just had a little bit of spam in the chat on YouTube, so I've got rid of that. One goal is going to be a boring game, says Nick. Callum, people like Wood and Haaland would hurt him. As long as Van Hecker gets replaced and he's benched forever, I hate him. Really? Are you a Brighton fan then, Callum? Brighton fan? No, you're a Newcastle fan, aren't you? Just in your profile picture. Why do you hate Van Hecker? That's an odd hatred, I guess. But yeah, Jurgen Klopp to Roma is another one that's doing the rounds. Obviously, Kirk has to Liverpool, maybe Kirk has to City, Wirtz to Liverpool. I still firmly believe that Wirtz is only going to Bayern Munich. I'm not even sure why there's a serious discussion being had about Wirtz, because it just seems absolutely crystal clear that they're obviously gonna just wind it up until all of a sudden it's agreed Bayern have signed him. Jake, we will spend in the summer. I'm sure you will. I'm sure Newcastle will spend. I'm not doubting that at all. What I'm saying is I'm not sure that you spend in a really, really significant way. Aaron, do you think Kirkes and Frimpong will work well for Liverpool? They weren't my first choice. I would have argued that they're a little bit bit too attacking. Yeah, bit too attacking. So the only way that I could see it working is if Slot has some sort of a plan for how best to use them. And I'm sure that he does. I'm sure he's not that naive that he'd just go, do you know what we'll do? We'll put two of the best attacking fullbacks from over the past couple of years, which, certainly Kirk has this season, you would argue, has been probably the best attacking left-back in the league. He's been incredible, hasn't he? And then you've got, on the right-hand side, Frimpong, who's been unbelievable going forward as well. Again, I'm not sure where the question that Frimpong is like a mess defensively, when every stat I've seen on Frimpong versus Trent defensively, his 1v1s, his dispossession stats, he's so much better than Trent. So much better. So I don't know where that's coming from. But yeah, I think in answer to the question, I do think that Kirkes and Frimpong will work well if Slot maybe goes out and gets a Baleba or someone who can play more of a sweeper and sit back into that sort of number 6 position and be a bit more of a protector in front of Van Dijk and Konate, or Van Dijk and whoever else it might be. You know, again, there's rumours linking Jared Branthwaite to Liverpool today as well. Rumours linking Jared Branthwaite, of all people. Lucas Lambert, I feel like Wolves will be a better game. There's not really anything riding on that one, though, is there? There's nothing riding on Palace and Wolves. Palace will be hungover after the FA Cup win. Wolves are already safe. This one, at least City need to win to get maybe back into that Champions League shout. If City don't win tonight, seriously, if they don't win tonight, I know the goal difference is good, but they've got to go away to Craven Cottage on the last day of the season. That's not easy. That is not easy. Fulham have beaten Liverpool there, drew with Arsenal there. They're a good side at Craven Cottage. And if City were to slip up tonight, there's a real possibility they don't get Champions League football next season. Nick A13, who are we betting tomorrow? Spurs or United? Come on the Spurs! Come on the Spurs! Definitely Spurs. Definitely Spurs. Lucas Lambert, I think Frimpong is just another Trent. In what way is he just another Trent? Callum Miller, he's always been a fake hard man, started pushing players like Willock, but Joe Willington pulled up and he hid. Frimpong is quality, he brings a different threat. He has better finishing than Trent and is faster. Callum, come on Bournemouth. And to be fair, I want Spurs to win it. There you go. See, Callum, you and I are kindred spirits on that one, mate. Tottenham tomorrow, Bournemouth tonight. That's what we're all about on this channel. Glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. Absolutely right, Nick. Come on the Spurs. Come on the Spurs. They're going to do it. I'm telling you, the more I'm seeing all these previews before, I'm getting it. I'm getting the feeling. I'm getting the feeling. I'm getting the word. It's happening. I'm getting the word Spurs. It's happening. Spurs are winning it. They are. Right. I mean, to be fair, have you seen the Ange Postecoglou press conference as well, where he's talking to the guy who he asks him. It seems quite a straightforward question. He's like, so Ange, listen, you've got this potential, one of the best seasons ever for Tottenham Hotspur, and if you don't win it, then maybe it's one of the worst seasons ever for Tottenham. And he phrased it in such a way that obviously got Ange's back up, and Ange's gone, listen, mate, I'm not a clown, right? I've worked for 26 years. I'm not a clown, right? like really, a really barbed, prickly answer back. Nick A13, I feel sorry for them. They deserve a trophy. Yeah, they're going to get one, aren't they? No Skill Aaron, you and Ange are going to be crying. It's not happening. 1,000 boiled eggs need a Bournemouth win. You might get it. Well, we'll see. We're going to be watching. Are they De Bruyne's kids? Jesus, Lord, they basically look like three little De Bruynes. But especially if that's his lad. I'm assuming it is. The camera's sort of oddly fixated on those three kids right on the touchline. I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of a, presentation with De Bruyne before the game. It's his last ever home game at the Etihad. But yeah, that's mad. They were literally like Austin Powers, three little mini-me's then. Football edits. Name a country for an edit. Senegal. Nick A13. There might be a lot of... we can't say that word from United fans. Callum Miller, it's a season of firsts. Is Justin Kluivert back yet? Yes, he is. Yeah. Nick A13. Do you think the game will go to extra time? Possibly penalties? Yeah, I do think there's a good chance of penalties tomorrow night, actually. I'm going to have a good night's sleep tonight and maybe sleep in a little bit in the morning just so I'm totally well rested for a late night, because I am prepared for extra time, penalties, going the full distance, then the trophy lift. It's going to be a great night. It really is going to be a great night. You watch. It's going to be a great night. 3-0 United tomorrow. That's what Aaron's saying. 3-0 United tomorrow. The United fans are certain. Callum, I'm thinking about putting a 9 on a Liverpool shirt and a 7 on an Everton shirt for the 97 and pin them on my wall. Justice for the 97. What do you reckon? Nice, that, Callum. Yeah, really nice gesture. Jake, Newcastle financial books come out every year. Each year it's become more clear what kind of situation we're in terms of PSR. Newcastle have sold over 100 million in players and not bought a player in 3 windows. The goal is to keep star players and add this summer. But yeah, maybe. Again, maybe. We don't know, Jake. We don't know. Until this summer plays out, we really don't know. Jake, no Madison or Kulusevski or Bergvall is terrible for Spurs. I can't see them winning, but I really hope they do. Isn't Bergvall potentially back fit? I read that. I don't know if that's still the case, but there was a real question mark over Bergvall. Bergvall, come on, please. Please. Bergvall update emerges. What's the score? What's the score? Is he in? Is he out? Dean Kulusevski out. Lucas isn't available. Sarr is fine. Right, so Sarr's back, but Bergvall isn't in the squad. Oh, that is grim then. Yeah, that is grim. Wim Malfay, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Wim. Liverpool fan. Callum, I genuinely think Spurs will maul United. It's happening. It's happening. I'm telling you. It wouldn't surprise me if there is maybe a 2 or a 3-0 win for one of the two teams. Like, we've all got it in our head that it's going to be this dead tense game. I actually think one of them will, like, outshite the other. Do you know what I mean? Like, really just, one of them is going to turn up and be absolutely dog meat. Like, so bad. And the other one's just going to be okay enough that they'll score. And it might actually be, like, a bit like the United-Bilbao game, where all of a sudden it's like 2-3-0 in the first half, and the second half's just a bit of a dud. That wouldn't surprise me at all. That will not surprise me. I'm kind of rooting. I'm rooting for an Onana slip up, for an Onana proper, like, oh, he's due a calamity, isn't he? He's due a calamity, definitely. Aaron, I'll be counting down the hours and drinking your tears just like Leon. Nah, it's gonna be my mate Solanke. My mate Solanke. Callum, Spurs should buy Callum Wilson for 50 mil. We'll let them take him instantly. I hope Bruno Fernandes slips. I'm gonna dream the whole scenario tonight. What's going to happen is Man United are going to batter Spurs. They're going to absolutely batter them. They're going to hit the post, hit the crossbar 2, 3, 4 times in the game. They're going to absolutely wipe the floor with them. But then they're only going to be 1-0 up, and United fans are going to keep saying throughout the chat, "Oh, we've got to kill them off. We've got to kill them off. We've got to kill them off." And then right in then, like 97th minute, Spurs corner, Big Dom Solanke, 1-1, goes to extra time, and Spurs win 7-6 on penalties. That's what's going to happen. And then Bruno Fernandes walks over to the United fans who are locked in the stadium for security reasons and have to see the trophy lift. Bruno Fernandes walks over to the United fans like that, waving, tears coming down his face, and says bye because I'm going to Saudi for 10 times my salary. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. I've seen it. I'm like Mystic Meg. I've seen it. I have seen it. Nick, I'm going to bet game to be decided on pens. 6-1 stake. Okay, I'm game for that. Yeah, let's do it. Jake, massive boost if Bergvall plays. Decent little player. Callum, this is the moment for Heung-min Son. Yeah, Sonny. Nice one, Sonny. Yeah, Son's absolutely got to score tomorrow night, hasn't he? Son has got to score. That would be so, like, sweet for him, given how big a player he's been for Spurs over the years. It would be really sad if he didn't actually end up winning something. He deserves it. He really deserves it, and I think he will. Alright, we're 27 minutes to kick off. Ben, I'll have you another 50 quid that Son doesn't score tomorrow. I'm not bet that Son doesn't score. Jesus, what odds are you giving me? I'm still counting. I've got your money for the end of next season, Ben, that a promoted side does stay up, because I think that's going to happen. We've had a bet on this channel that one of the promoted sides coming up from the Championship, at least one, stays up. Because apparently they're all going back down, right? So we're going to do that. And I've also got a bet with someone else on this channel who says that Liverpool aren't going to finish in the top 5 next season. Liverpool aren't going to finish in the top 5. They think they're going to finish 6th or lower. The current champions are going to finish 6th or lower. So I've got a 20 quid bet on that. I think that's easy money, to be honest. Ben, Son will not score tomorrow. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I have been shadow banned on TikTok. I don't know why I've been shadow banned. But basically, our average... See how there's 10 people in on TikTok at the minute? There's 10... Yeah, there's 10 people in TikTok. The average concurrent viewers on TikTok for the last two weeks or so have been 10 to 15, 10 to 20. And basically for the entirety of April, and even before that, the average was going up to the 2, 3, 4, 500s. And that was average, the average number. I saw it on the analytics today. So for some reason, all of a sudden, at the start of May, there's just been a big dip. Sam Savini, evening mate, how's it going? Good to see you, Sam. Ben, you're saying it like it's unrealistic for promoted sides to go back down. Gap between the Prem and the Champ has never been bigger. I'm not saying it's like it's unrealistic. I'm saying it like it's happened 2 times in 27 years. So I think the argument that the gap between the Prem and the Championship has never been bigger doesn't. I don't think that rings true. I don't think there's any evidence of that. You're saying it because there's the 3 that came up have gone down in the last 2 years, but that would be considered a rarity and an anomaly. If you were looking at it from a data point of view, you would strip out the outliers. They are not. They are definitely out the outliers in terms of the data. So I'm given we've got who've City got on the bench, right? City have got on the bench Ake, Bob, Doku, Foden again on the bench. Phil Foden again on the bench. Is there a world where he might move on this summer? How many games has he actually played, Phil Foden, recently? I'm just looking. He started against Southampton. And got took off. But they didn't score. He's been on the bench in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the last 10 games. He started on the bench, I think. Or 7 out of the last 10. Sorry, 7 out of the last 10 games for City, Foden has started on the bench. That's not like... He was player of the year last year. The guy's come through the academy. He's still only, 23, 20, he's 24? However old he is. He's not... I'm really, really surprised that Pep isn't giving him more of a shot. He had such a good season last season, and all of a sudden, I don't know what his numbers are this year. I mean, even this year, he got 27 goals and assists in 35 games last year for City. This year, he's got 9 in 27. I mean, it's a big drop-off, but 9 in 27 is still not terrible for a number 10 who isn't getting much starts. Did you not think? That's like 1 in 3. 1 in 3. For a player who's coming off the bench a lot of the time as well. I don't know. I think maybe Pep's blaming him, and it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. But do we think there's any chance he could leave? Is there any chance that Foden could leave City? Sorry, what are we saying, Ben? Let me keep up with the chat here. Jake, Wolves, West Ham and Sunderland, Sheffield United relegated next season. West Ham are an interesting one. There's a few West Ham fans who are getting a little bit irked with Graham Potter, aren't they? So do we think that West Ham... I think it very much depends. West Ham to me seem like a really, really solid team, a difficult team to beat. They've had a lot of... It's been a big change, and since Julian Lopetegui's come in, they've got rid of a few players. Some of the attacking players don't play as much now. Graham Potter's started to try and fix the defence. And it's whether or not they can keep hold of players like Mohamed Kudus this summer. Maybe even Souček leaves as well. He's another decent player for them. But they're going to have to make some big changes to move up the table. I don't think they're in any danger of going down. I think the only real top side that could have a chance of going down, I say top, I'm talking about the teams that stayed up this year, you'd have to look at Everton again. There's only really Everton that greatly concerns me. Everyone else I think is pretty much fine. When we look at the bottom half, and you've got West Ham, Spurs, United, they're not going down. West Ham, Wolves, Everton, maybe. Wolves very much dependent on what they do with Matheus Cunha's money, isn't it? If Matheus Cunha leaves and they spend that money well, I think they'll be fine. Everton have got a big replacement job on their hands, and that's the one that worries me. Sam Savini, you reckon Arsenal or Liverpool or City will have a better transfer window? I think as it stands, it's far more likely to be Liverpool and City. I mean, Liverpool have started the window incredibly well. If we signed Frimpong and Kirkes before the season's even finished, we've effectively replaced Trent and Robertson within a matter of weeks. I saw a tweet before, literally just before I came on, and it said something along the lines of, it was from a Man United fan, and he said Liverpool have managed to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson in 2 weeks before the season has ended, and we've still not replaced Gary Neville and Patrice Evra. Which is a fair assessment, isn't it? Ben, wouldn't you start Foden on current form? Because I wouldn't. Would I start Foden on current form? I think he's better than the likes of Savinio and Doku. Yeah. And Grealish, to be honest. I think Phil Foden, it's not even just about whether I would start him on current form. I think you have to start him. He's a Manchester City academy product that kind of lives and breathes the club. He should be your heartbeat of your team, your Steven Gerrard, your Trent Alexander-Arnold, your Jamie Carragher, whatever. Like, he should be that for City. So I think Pep has to find a way to make him the heartbeat of the team. It's not whether or not he deserves it on merit. Like, fine, drop him if you think he needs a bit of a kick in. But actually, he's not played him in the vast majority of games. Certainly recently. He's benching him. And I just don't know what he's trying to get out of it, because he's already decided Kevin De Bruyne isn't going to be at the club next season. So if De Bruyne isn't going to be at the club next season, the club of... Kevin De Bruyne came out and said it's not my decision to leave. So that implies at least that he wanted to stay or would have been open to staying, and City or Pep or both have made the decision not to renew. So once you know that, if you're Pep Guardiola, why aren't you just starting Foden and bringing De Bruyne off the bench more? I don't know. To me, it seems like a really odd one. A really odd one. I just wonder if there's been anything behind closed doors there. Sam Savini, Gyökeres would be a big signing, but don't see Zubi improving as much. No, I think Zubi and Gyökeres don't really improve. They might improve Arsenal, but I don't think they move the needle enough to say, right, oh my God, they're going to be a title-winning side now. Nick A13, do you think City are going to win under 3.5 goals? No. I think there's goals in this one again. These end-of-season games, as we saw last night with Brighton and Liverpool, these end-of-season games typically have goals in them. And I would also never back City to win this outright. I think Bournemouth are a really solid team. And we've seen them go and perform really well. At some big away grounds as well. They did really well at St James's Park. Thought they did really well at Arsenal as well. They've done really well on the road this season. And... you know, I'm sure they can come here and get a result. They'll feel that they can come here and win. Callum Foden apparently got his appendix took out and he has low iron. A City fan told me on a pod. He has low iron because he has his appendix out. Well, what? Is there no cure for that or what? Like, what's the crack? If you've got low iron, you've got low iron. You take supplements or you get infusions or what? I don't know what that is, but surely that, if you've got no appendix, that's... Surely it wasn't like he's been space jammed. His entire football ability isn't in his appendix. That's an interesting theory. I've not heard that before. Razine, how are you, mate? Much excited for the game. Last game of KDB, which I will watch, because at the last match day, I will be going for Forest-Chelsea match. Yeah, we'll be watching the Forest-Chelsea game on the last match day too, mate. Yep. Razine, my prediction is it'll be 4-2 for Bournemouth. Evan-Nilsson brace, Semenyo and Kirkes goals, Haaland for City, and Foden coming from the bench. Well, we've just been talking about Foden. Yeah, we've just been talking about Foden. I'm not entirely sure whether he actually does come off the bench. Maybe he will if things aren't looking so bright, but he started. The last game that he started for City was that Southampton game, and he got hauled off just after the hour mark because evidently he wasn't having much of an effect. Nick, so 2 to 4 goals then. I honestly don't know, Nick. I'd feel guilty telling you. For me, I'm not willing to bet outright either way on this one. For me, I'd go... You'd be better off doing an acca and doing sort of double chance with 1 to 6 goals or something like that. But I think there will be goals in it. Nick, I think City are going to win. Professionally, it's the last game at the Etihad. If they don't win this, then what match are they going to win? Well, they've got Fulham. That's the next game. The next game is Fulham at Craven Cottage, and they're going to have to get at least, at the very, very least, 4 points from those two. They have to. They have to. Razine, by the way, mate, Barca game is at the 25th night, so will you do it? Not same time as any other Premier League games. I don't know. What game have we got on the 25th? I'm not entirely sure what game we've got on the 25th, mate. I still need to update the schedule over the next few days, so I'll let you know. Callum, this isn't the City of old. People need to remind themselves this. You say it's not the City of old, but it very much is the City of old. In terms of personnel, of course it's the City of old. The City of old, fine, they're a little bit tired and a little bit different in terms of confidence maybe, but it's exactly the same players, it's exactly the same manager. Lee Oxley, Pepe Reina has retired from football. Just seeing it. What a keeper he was, eh? What a goalkeeper he was. Fabulous goalkeeper. Edward, good to see you, Edward. Ben, Tavo, Semenyo, shot on target. What do you think? Lads, stop trying to rope me into your bet. I don't know. I don't know. If I was picking anyone, I'd probably say Semenyo. No, Tavernier. Lee Oxley, only 42. It's no age, is it that? No age for a professional footballer. Callum, De Bruyne, Silva, Gundogan, all legless. Mate, they're not legless. Bernardo Silva isn't legless. De Bruyne is not legless. Gundogan is, but Bernardo Silva is very much not legless. And De Bruyne, I would quite happily take at Liverpool. Quite happily. In fact, I'd take Bernardo Silva if he wasn't such a rat. I'd quite happily take Bernardo Silva too. Lee Oxley, Reina was a top keeper. No kidding. Yeah, he was fantastic. Fantastic. I never thought we'd see a better goalkeeper for Liverpool in my lifetime after Pepe Reina and then Alisson Becker came along. Lee, Gerrard linked with Rangers again. It seems like a good fit, that, doesn't it? Seems like a good fit. Callum, have you seen City this season? I have seen City this season. City, again, you say, have I seen City this season? Like, that's one particular season doesn't... What's the word? One swallow doesn't make a summer. It's kind of the same sort of thing. City are having a bad season. Liverpool have had bad seasons with basically the same team. So I don't think you look at it and say, right, they're dusted. These are still a group of very, very talented players. Maybe they're low on confidence. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. But what I do know is that they've not been miraculously space jammed and become bad players overnight. They don't become bad players overnight. And you don't lose your legs overnight. Gundogan, maybe is the anomaly in that he went to Barcelona and immediately looked a poor player, and then he came back to City and there's still the ability on the ball, but other than that he's not quite got the legs. But De Bruyne is still dominating games. De Bruyne has been City's best player over the last couple of months for me. And Bernardo Silva is still buzzing around. He just looks frustrated with what he's being surrounded with. Sam Savini, don't know how MLS wasn't nominated for Young Player of the Season. I think it's maybe because he only kind of came into the team late, didn't he? When did he get his first start? It feels like he only actually started playing kind of maybe in October, November time. Is that right? Feels like he only started to get chances at that point. And obviously he had a couple of sendings off as well. I think Lewis Skelly's done really well, but if you're looking at Lewis Skelly, you probably also have to take a look at Nico O'Reilly as well. There's a few good young players who've started playing really, really well, but I think Saliba and Hyson, they were the right choices. They've had big influences on their respective teams, but I mean, Gravenberch's nominated for Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year, so I don't see how Gravenberch doesn't win it, to be honest. Jake, Pep should have replaced and improved this team, aged the squad out, and he's paying for it now. I also think it's not even necessarily just that he's aged the squad out, mate. It's also that his signings haven't been very good, have they? You look at the wide areas for City. Doku, Grealish, Savinho, none of them are Sané, Mahrez, Sterling levels. I know Sterling was already there when Pep got there, but none of those are top quality wide players. So I'm a little bit disappointed with what City have done in terms of recruitment. Edward, how's you, pal? I'm good, mate. Yeah, good. Hopefully you are too, man. Nick A13, are Crystal Palace going to win? I don't know. Probably not. I'd say that one's got draw written all over it again. Palace are... They've just won the FA Cup. They don't care, do they? They've won the FA Cup. They're in Europe. They don't give a monkeys. They're absolutely fine. They'll just enjoy the day, and they'll probably just be waiting for the FA Cup to come out and get paraded round Selhurst Park. There'll be a big cheer. Everyone will be just enjoying the day, and the game that happens after that, no one really cares, I'm sure. If Palace get battered, every single fan will still stay and applaud the team round the pitch. It just won't make a difference. So, yeah, I think Palace players might be a touch hungover, in the same way that Liverpool players have been. Since Liverpool confirmed that they've won the league, we've been crap. Chelsea, we got beat last night. We drew with Arsenal. We've looked off the boil since the league was pretty much wrapped up mathematically. Nick, City are probably tired from the final. They're not going to risk. What do you mean they're not going to risk? They really, really need to, though. This is the thing. City are desperate to get Champions League football. They're so behind. Callum, Doku and Grealish, all were very quality players pre-season, but that robot Pep ruined them. Or pre-City. I don't know. I don't think Grealish has done anything different, really, at City than he did at Villa. He's just not really had too many chances. I do think there's an element of him being overcoached. I will agree with you on that. They are very robotic and rigid, City, and there is a bit of overcoaching going on, and we see that with Arteta as well, don't we? His little apprentice, his little puppet. But yeah, they're doing a De Bruyne tribute act now. Little montage for Kevin De Bruyne, the maestro. Probably one of my favourite Premier League players to watch of all time. Like a really, really wonderful player. So good. Sam Savini, City not getting Champions League would be all my wishes come true. It's entirely possible, I'm telling you, it'll only take a Bournemouth result tonight, even just a draw tonight and a draw against Fulham, and it is entirely possible that City miss out. And a draw at Craven Cottage is very much on the cards. It's just whether or not Bournemouth can get a draw tonight. Caleb, United. Come on, 2-1 win tomorrow. Can't see it. Spurs all the way. Ben, hope Gerrard goes back to Rangers and let's campaign KDB to Liverpool. Well, there was a lot of rumours, wasn't there, that KDB had been contacted by Liverpool. There was, I think Mo Salah joked about it in an interview as well, didn't he? But I don't think there's anything really seriously in it. And the same with Florian Wirtz, to be dead honest. Is this another tifo, this? They're doing a Kevin De Bruyne tifo? Or is it just a flag? Edward, I'm doing good, mate. Been out in the sun all day. Nice. Callum, Pep and Arteta are both robotic managers. I'm surprised Company played so attacking at Burnley. Well, in fairness, Company only played under Pep, didn't he? He didn't actually work closely with him in terms of his philosophy on football and how he coached players. I'm sure that was more from a player's point of view. Callum, seems like we are getting Sesko after what Dave O.C. Cop said. I mean, to be fair, what Dave says isn't always bang on. Sesko is a player we've looked at. The thing with Liverpool, it was clear all summer. The names being linked with us, it's the same five names all summer, and it'll be one of these five that we get. It'll be Isak, Alvarez, Gyökeres, Sesko, or who was the other one? Isak, Alvarez, Gyökeres, Sesko, Ekitike. They're the five. Caleb, Spurs have got Bissouma out as well. Took a knock in training. Apparently, Anne just said that everyone's fine. There's only Lucas Bergvall out as well as Kulusevski. The ones that are confirmed out are still out, but Sarr and Bissouma should still be okay, he said. Ben, I'd rather get KDB than Wirtz, 1000%. I agree with you, yeah, we were saying this before. I think Kevin De Bruyne, for free, represents far better value than 100 million for Florian Wirtz. Sam Savini, where do you stand on the whole? Spurs will have had a better season if they win tomorrow, even if 17th. Mate, you only get 4, maybe 5 chances to win a trophy at the start of the season. And I think if you win a trophy, then you have, by definition, had a better season than someone who hasn't. The only contradiction to that would maybe be someone like Nottingham Forest, where that's a real rarity. They've moved up the table from 17th to maybe 5th or 4th or wherever they end up finishing. So, for me, Forest have had a great season without winning a trophy, and that very, very rarely happens. But the rest of it, it's quite easy. You can do a very simple sort of Venn diagram. If you've won a trophy, you've had a better season than someone who hasn't. It's really, really simple. So for me, yeah, I think if Spurs win it, they've had a better season than anyone who hasn't won a trophy, including Arsenal, including City. They've had a better season. Finishing 17th, finishing 16th, wherever they finish, irrespective. They've won a trophy, you haven't. That's it. And then you can score all that in terms of quality of trophy if you want. Like if you wanted to have Spurs or Newcastle had a better season, well, you could argue Spurs because they've won a European trophy versus a Carabao Cup, which is maybe a little bit pithy and not many teams put the full strength crew out in it. So I don't know. Again, you could have that argument as well. Ben Key, who do you think we'll get in terms of number 9? Not who you want, who do you think? I think it's so difficult because it's all sort of shifted back towards Sesko now, hasn't it? I would have liked us to really go big after Isak, yeah. I like Isak. I I'm not convinced on Ekitike. I'm not convinced on Gyökeres. Sesko I like. And I like Alvarez. So Sesko, Alvarez or Isak would be my preferred three. And if we can't get any of them three, honestly, I'd keep Darwin Núñez. Honestly, I really would keep Darwin Núñez. If we can't get any of them three, because I don't think Ekitiki's an upgrade. Callum, seems like we're getting Sesko, Isak will go Barca, we won't sell Alvarez, rule them off, but the other three are likely. I think Alvarez will. Alvarez is quite keen to leave, allegedly. Edward, would you take Boniface? No, I wouldn't take... No, Boniface from Leverkusen, not really my type of player. No skill Aaron, Hugo expensive. As fuck. Caleb, he's rolled his ankle. Aaron, see you in the Champions League next season. United aren't winning that. They're not winning that. Lucas Lambert, if I was Rodri, I'd just wait till next season. Yeah, maybe. Again, we'll see. We'll see. Callum, keep Núñez. Don't keep Núñez. Why not keep Núñez? Listen, Núñez is a greatly, greatly underrated striker. And I think the only reason he hasn't been given as much of a chance towards the end. You've got to remember, he scored goals and been dropped. Scored big, important goals for Liverpool and then been dropped without real reason. And it's kind of come to light that it was because we owed Benfica money if we keep playing him. If we keep playing him, we owe Benfica like another £5 million. And the club have already decided that he's likely to go. Michael, do Liverpool have to sell before they can buy due to any PSR or FFP issues affecting the club? No, mate, not at all. We have arguably the most PSR and FFP headroom in the entire league. Liverpool could probably spend 400 to 500 million, nearly £500 million, and it wouldn't damage our PSR level like for a long like that seems to be what FSG do. They'll spend not very much and then they'll have like a glut. So yeah, everyone's expecting that this year is that year because we haven't really signed anyone for a number of years now. Bournemouth with a long throw into the box. I forgot to start the clock. Got to start the clock. What's going on? Right, we're underway. We're underway. John Marsden, what happened to Liverpool last night, mate? They lost, I seen. Mate, we're still hungover, John. We're still hungover. We're still on the beach. Ben, that being said, Chelsea should not be celebrating winning the conference over $1 billion to win a trophy that West Ham won. Yeah, well, yeah. Maybe there's that. But listen, they're in the trophy. They're in the league. They've got to... Once they're in it, they've got to win it. I feel like it's embarrassing if they don't. Ben, Slot doesn't like Núñez. That's absolutely clear. Well, I don't know if it is clear. I don't know if it is clear. I think an element of it is the fact that the club have said, well, what do you think of Núñez? Do you want to keep him? Do you want to sell him? And Slot said, well, I don't know, mate. I'm probably leaning more towards selling him. And they've said, right, well, you know, if he plays a few more games, we owe Benfica another 5-6 million quid. So, you know, we'd rather keep that money in our pocket. So if you're certain you're not going to keep him, then, you know, maybe keep him on the bench. Don't really need to use him. Don't use him. Marco, if Man City draw or lose, do they qualify for the Champions League? No. If they draw or lose, nothing happens. If they win, I don't think anything really happens even if they win. There's still a chance they could not get it if they lose against Fulham on the final day. So it's all still to be decided on the final day, whatever happens tonight. But if City were to lose or to draw, then it really does give him a lot to do because Fulham away is a difficult game. Oh, that's really poor. That from Diaz. There's a chance here for Bournemouth. Tavernier in the box. Shot. Oh, good save. It was Cliver, not Tavernier. Zach, are Man City going to win? Well, the early few minutes here suggests no. Akira Blade, sell him. No. Listen, I'm fine with keeping Núñez if we can't get any of our other targets. What I'm saying is, I'm fine with selling Núñez if we've managed to get someone better. But what I'm saying is the argument that he's like, someone in the chat saying he's worse than Højlund is absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Darwin Núñez is still a very, very good striker. And as I say, there's a market for Darwin Núñez. Whoever buys Darwin Núñez, I absolutely guarantee you it'll be for not much less than we paid for him. He'll still go for 60 million quid, there or thereabouts, because he's a very, very good player. A very, very good player. Ben, if Slot liked him enough, he'd play him regardless of the Benfica fee. Well, maybe he's decided. Maybe he's decided that he doesn't want him. And if that's the case, then fine. But he's still got to find a player to replace him that's better than Núñez. So it might still be up in the air. It's one of them. I don't think he's necessarily decided he doesn't want to play him because of the Benfica fee. But if he can avoid it but like, for example, if Jota got injured and he had to play him, he probably would have played him. But if he doesn't have to, then he doesn't have to, does he? That's why we've only really seen him coming off the bench for a couple of minutes in the odd game. Despite having scored against Southampton and winning the winning penalty and, doing well against Brentford earlier in the season. He seems to play well in games and then doesn't get a run of starts thereafter. It's a bit disappointing. City are in. Bernardo Silva. Well done, Bournemouth. Really, really good defending that. Ben, are we that hard up for 5 million? I don't think so. No, it's not about being hard up for 5 million quid. I mean, it's still 5 million quid, though. So it's one of them, like, if you don't need to spend it, don't spend it. Here's Bournemouth. Chance. Oh, unlucky. Again, Bournemouth getting into the area there. Much, much better. Ben, Núñez will kick on outside the Prem, I'm sure of it. He gets inside his own head. Lucas Lambert, are you doing Man United live tomorrow? Yes, mate, you know us. We're live every single day on this channel. Every single day. Michael, what are you saying, Michael? 1 second. Michael, Kieran, do you know if... Oh, no, I saw something then. What have you said, Michael? Kieran, have you heard this rumour going around that Jurgen Klopp is considering becoming the new manager of Roma? I have heard it, yes, and it was quashed today by Jurgen Klopp's agent, Mark something. His agent has basically come out and said there's no truth in Jurgen Klopp going to Roma. Ben, lad, as if you're shadow banned for Europa League final. Best footy channel on socials. Cheers, man. Hey, listen, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I am shadow banned. As I say, it's been 2. You can literally see. I'll send you the graph. It literally goes from like a rolling average daily of like 300, 400, 500 people. Average. Sometimes, as you saw, mate, it used to be like 1,200 on TikTok. All of a sudden, it's plummeted to like an average of like 10 to 50, 20. So everywhere else is still doing quite well. We're growing really quickly on YouTube, growing really quickly on various other platforms, but on TikTok, it seems that we're capped for some reason over the last couple of weeks. So, I don't know. There's nothing I can do about it other than ride it out and see if we come out on the other side of it. Caleb, can't wait to piss you off tomorrow. Prem Dad, Nick A13. Palace are playing their last home game right now. Yes, that's true, Nick, yeah. Jake Klopp said he won't go back into management before summer 2026. I don't think he goes back into management, if I'm dead honest with you. Ben, you were comfortably hitting 700 to 1,200 for a time on here. I know. I know. I don't know what the situation is now or why, but whatever the case, it has dropped. City getting forward. It's cleared away. How's it going, Reese? Good to see you, mate. Oh, City are in. Must be. Really good save, that by Kepa. Isn't it mad? Isn't it mad that Kepa has gone to Bournemouth and actually become quite a reliable goalkeeper for them? And yet they've got Robert Sanchez at Chelsea, who's become really, really unreliable. I know, and it's also mad that Kepa Arrizabalaga is still to this day the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, isn't he? Oh, De Bruyne pulled back for a foul there. I'm not sure it was. Not sure it was. Oh my God. Michael Kieran, oh sorry, that one's just come off. We've already seen that one. Kepa, it's going to be a long ball forward. Oh, that's gone straight out, that ref. This is much better from Bournemouth coming forward. Liam Phillips, are you backing Spurs tomorrow? Yes, Liam, absolutely. Absolutely backing Spurs. They've been the better side all season. Can't see United beating them. Who are you backing, Liam? More importantly. Spurs, because I'm a Spurs fan. Good man. Good man. DN, if City lose, Newcastle chance for UCL goes from 80% to 100%. Well, I mean, as it stands, City are going above Newcastle, even at 0-0. I really, really think that a point isn't going to be enough for Newcastle. And Chelsea are going to beat Forest. Villa are going to beat United. And Newcastle will draw on the final day against Everton. I really, really do think that's what's going to happen. I can see it happening already. Everton draw with Newcastle on the final day. Villa beat United. Chelsea beat Forest. And Newcastle finish 6th. That's... I've been thinking it for weeks. Be a Viking. Love this guy on his other channel. Rate my takeaway. I think we can all agree tomorrow there are no winners. Are you on about me on Rate My Takeaway? You cheeky rat. Daniel, some keepers can't handle the pressure of playing for bigger clubs. I've seen it happen to many keepers at Arsenal who have gone on to have competent careers. That's true. Do you think Salah breaks the assist record? He's already broke it, hasn't he? I mean, in any meaningful way, he's already broke it in the 38-game season. He only needs, what, 1 goal and or 1 assist. Oh, sorry. He needs a goal, 2 goals or assists, doesn't he? Sorry. So if he gets 2 assists, he doesn't have to score, or 2 goals, he doesn't have to assist. But he has to get 2 goal contributions in the final day against Palace. And I think that's entirely possible, but he missed a sitter last night. He missed a real sitter last night. DN, we never draw at home. We either win or lose, and we never lose at home, really. Oh, City have scored. Omar Marmoush, 1-0 City. Really, really good finish, that. Really good finish. Jaden, 27 days. Jaden, sticking with the channel through thick and thin. Love it, Jaden. Cheers, mate. Yeah, but I do think there's a very good chance that that he gets at least one tomorrow and equals it, and then it's just whether or not he can get a second. But yeah, Marmoush has put City 1-0 up now. I'm surprised, really. It's Gundogan breaking forward. Oh, and then Marmoush has just smashed it in from 35 yards. Really, really good finish. Top finish. Smashed it in off the corner of the post and bar. Postage stamp. Postage stamp. Be yourself, Dylan. Hey, it's my friend's birthday and he loves watching your channel. His name's Lewis. Good to see you, Lewis. Happy birthday, mate. Card Hot Cafe. Get a career, lad. Got one, mate. This is it. This is it. I'm living my best life. I am living my best life. I urge you to too. 3 assists to break Henry's record. What, in a single year? Oh, I've not seen that. Caleb, oh my god, I hate City. That was a shit finish. What a goal that is, says Reese. DN, that Salah miss was like a Darwin Núñez miss. Well, there you got City in third as it stands. Nick A13, 1-0 City. Yes, I'm getting paid. Benji, game you watching, City or Palace? City, Benji. 1-0 to City it is. Marmoush, absolute screamer. DN, Everton haven't won at St James's Park for 6 years, by the way. So, what does that got to mean? That doesn't mean anything. Nick A13, when we bet on Marmoush, he can't even get a shot on target. When we don't, he scores. What the hell? Great goal. Really, really great goal. Ball whipped in from the left-hand side for Bournemouth. Clear, easy take that from Edison. Really, really good piece of goalkeeping. Because it's too hard to play there, and especially on a must-win day. Listen, it is hard. It is hard to play at St James's Park. There's plenty of teams struggle there. What I'm saying to you is the argument that they're going to waltz in and smash Everton, irrespective of how big a game it is. It was a big game when they got beat against Fulham. It was a big game when they got beat against Bournemouth. It was a big game when you got smashed at Villa Park as well. Newcastle drew plenty of times as well. I mean, it was a big game when you played Liverpool. You drew that one. So, for me, I don't think it's going to be a breeze. You might well knock Everton for 6. You might absolutely smash them. And if you do and you get Champions League football on the last day by the skin of your teeth, great. Good luck to you. Absolutely brilliant for Newcastle. What I'm saying to you is Newcastle haven't been sufficiently good either over the course of a season or over the last couple of months that it makes you think Everton have got no chance there. Everton have been really, really difficult to beat since David Moyes has come in. So if we're talking recent form, it really does point to a draw. It really does point to a draw. Nick A13, I'm telling you, it's going to be a low tempo game. This one. Yeah, this one's not looking like it's going to be a high energy one now, is it? Son said he will be at his absolute best against United. Well, then United are losing. Because if he's at his absolute best, then he's the only world-class player on the pitch. Son at his best is absolutely brilliant. Yep, see you tomorrow, pal. Take it easy. No worries, M15. Haaland gets it out wide. Here's Gvardiol. Great ball in. Too easy. Here's Kirkes on the far side. Nick A13, what I'm trying to say is that teams don't risk late in the season. Every team wins matches now low. What do you mean they don't risk late in the season? They'll risk late in the season if they've got something to play for. Low at the end of the season, that's usually when your high scoring games happen. In games where there's obviously something to play for. In games where it's like Palace against Wolves, that one might be low tempo and low scoring. But not this one. You would think this one, both of them have got something to fight for, but evidently Bournemouth haven't turned up. Nottingham-Chelsea is going to be the derby. Does Chelsea take the draw? I think Chelsea win that one. Yeah, I think Chelsea win that one. Be yourself, Dylan. I'm going to the Notts game on Sunday. Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll be doing it. Well, that's the game we're gonna focus on. I think that's gonna be really good. Beer Viking. Son is past his best by far. I've got both games on. Palace Wolves, higher tempo game. Nice. Daniel Postecoglou said he's not a clown and tripled down on winning trophies today. I know, yeah. Saw that. I thought that was quite an interesting statement from him. Yeah. Really interesting statement. Forest got home advantage though, and that didn't seem to matter with other games recently. I mean, Christ, Leicester. I thought Leicester were really unlucky not to win that. Reese, Prem Dad, did I pay £109 for the new Arsenal shirt with Rice on the? Or do I? No. Get onto PH Gate. Get it off there. Save yourself a fortune. Oh, who is this rat on YouTube? Mate, just keep blocking him. Report and remove. There you go. Done. £109 is absolutely scandalous for a football shirt. I'm sorry. Be yourself, Dylan. It's nice when people want to laugh, but not rude comment. No, it's not rude comments. It's spam. It's spam. I can deal with rude comments. Rude comments are funny. I can take rude comments all day, every day. They're fine. To be honest, I spend my day laughing at most of them. But I mean, yeah, it's the spam that does your head in, because they're the ones that are just annoying, aren't they? Come and watch the game on bloody infectmycomputer.com or whatever. Ryan C, your setup could still be better. I know, mate. I know. Your haircut is a bit old. I recommend changing it. Cheers, man. I'm working on it. I've got a limited amount of ability to do so. Oh. If you want to pay for the barber for sort my haircut out, do you want to sort my haircut out? If you want to sort me a barber out, I'd appreciate it. Goal for Wolves, really? Ooh, 1-0 Wolves, nice. I recommend short back and sides. Low taper fade. Chance. Oh my God. He's missed an absolute sitter. Kevin De Bruyne should have scored. He has missed an open net. That's going to be talked about in terms of like the Torres one over years ago. It was an absolute tap-in for him and he smashed the crossbar. Jake Agbadou scored for Wolves. I think I've got Palace or draw in that one. Agbadou's done really well though. He's done really, really well for Wolves since he's gone in there. Substub, good to see you, mate. Yeah, Wolves goal. Wolves goal, there you go. Ryan, can I see your setup, mate? Any chance I can see your setup? I appreciate... Listen, I probably shouldn't really even be responding to you because I know this is more attention than you ever got off your mum and dad. But, yeah, let us know what your setup looks like, mate. I'd love to get some tips. Nick A13, Palace will turn it. I think they'll get a point at least. They will get a point. Daniel, support the club and get the match fit one. It's only 165 quid. Can you imagine you can get a fake with customisation for 10% of that? I know it's mad, innit? It's mad. Absolutely mad. Callum De Bruyne isn't finished yet, mate. Keep telling yourself that. He isn't finished. What, just because he misses an open net? I don't mean it's finished. BC, who do you think wins the Europa tomorrow? Spurs. Definitely Spurs. Easy Spurs. Reese, I really don't want Spurs to win tomorrow, but I can't bear hearing the United fans if they win. Honestly, Spurs are the lesser of two evils, I assure you. They are the lesser of two evils. Nick A13, who is going to be heartbroken more if they lose the final? United fans. The funnier reaction is definitely going to be United fans, trust me. Spurs are used to losing. Spurs are used to it. United fans think they've got it in the bag as well. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. They're going to lose it. They're going to walk it. Ryan C, your ears are a bit too pointy to be successful in front of a screen. Ryan, I'll give you now, right? You have my absolute word. I'll give you 100 quid if you join this live right now and show us what you look like. I'll give you 100 quid right now to join this live and show us what you look like. 1-1 Palace. 1-1 Palace is right. Crystal Palace has scored. Get in. Who scored it? Who scored it? Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah has scored. Eddie Nketiah has scored. Wonderful teamwork. Come on, Palace, you can win. There you go. I do think Palace will get at least a point out of that one. But we're 27 minutes in here. 27 minutes in here, and Marmoush should have had an assist to go with his goal. But De Bruyne, a little bit unlucky that actually, De Bruyne. The ball gets played across the face of goal, and it bobbles up in front of him. Bobbles up in front of him. Substub, join the live right now. Edward, yeah, I know. I saw your first message, mate, yeah. Nick A13, how is Manchester doing? Are they parking the bus? Bournemouth haven't really troubled him at all. They haven't laid a glove on him. It's been all City. City should have been 2-0 up when De Bruyne has hit the crossbar from 3 yards out. And Bournemouth, yeah, Bournemouth haven't really even got into their half, to be honest. So, I noticed our mate Ryan's not even responded there. How sad's that? They come in, they say all sorts, but Daniel, can I be mean to you for 100 quid? It's not even that. If you're going to throw around, honestly, it's more that, like, I'd actually accept it. I'd accept it, but the vast majority, always, not even the vast majority, 100% don't put a profile picture on. Absolute cowards, the lot of them, to a man. Cowards. Usually because they look like the back of a bus. A face only a mother could love. And all that. Nick A13, who is going to get 7th in La Liga? Osasuna, Celta Vigo, or Vallecano? Yes. Osasuna. Budimir is in exceptional form for Osasuna, so I fancy Osasuna. You can be mean to me for free, Daniel, if you want. Everyone else is. Why not? Nobody else is getting paid for it. Oh, we are. Listen. They're here again. These numpties. Yeah, I know. They'll just be I mean, again, as fast as they can create channels, I can just create. I can just report them and block them. It's dead easy. They'll just have to keep creating channels. Liverpool, champions of England. Hello, good to see you. Reese, I'll negotiate £101.50 and I'll criticise your background. And me pointy ears. Hey, hitting me where it hurts, me pointy ears. Don't say that. I'm very sensitive about my ears. Mark Adams used to love running up behind the buses and pressing the emergency stop and getting leggers off the drivers. Mark, you absolute rat for doing that. That's absolutely vile behaviour. Funny, but vile. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Really good to see you. Good to have you in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking of the games tonight. Let me know what you're thinking of the games tomorrow, of course. SLS 16, both teams to score. City and Palace games. Let's go Bournemouth. I can't see Bournemouth scoring here. Bournemouth don't look like they're scoring. Yeah, they don't look like they're scoring. "20 titles and we've signed Frimpong." Well, yeah, we've signed Frimpong. Hopefully we'll sign Kirkes with him. Ben Key, that was an all... I'm not going to promote him. Because they were funky. Must be! Have they missed it? Oh, Bournemouth hit the post. Evan Ilson's hit the post. Oh, no. Bournemouth really should have scored. Yeah, Ben, they weren't. They weren't, mate. They were called something else. If you remember. I used to work there. But no, then they weren't always called that. Cheers, SLS. You're very kind. Thank you very much for that. And we're afterwards. I don't think we are afterwards. I still think that's a load of nonsense. Sub-stub, I used to do that when I was a kid. Hey, cheers, SLS. 2-1 is it now? Blimey, okay. Jaden, when are you updating the schedule on the other platform? I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, so it'll be sorted then. Mark Adams, bottom bus stop on Forest Road in Sutton Manor. Ben, a girl I used to work with, works there. Been there like 5-6 years now. Or it'll have been after my time then. Yeah, it'll have been after my time. I left there in 2016. And Ketia again. Ooh, we could be in a bit of trouble. Who could be in a bit of trouble? And Ketia. I know after your time, just can't think of their old name. Text me what it was. Head's burning. It's a number. It's a number. Oh, that's better from City, but Bournemouth cut it out. Very good play. But yeah, Nketiah started to finish the season strongly. I thought I thought he'd signed permanently from Arsenal, but he hasn't, has he? He's going to go back to Arsenal as well. Is he only on loan? Is that right? If Nketiah's got to go back to Arsenal on loan, and they've got Nketiah, Havertz, and Jesus on their books, they ain't signing a striker until they've sold one of them. Maybe two. Two of them they need to sell. There's absolutely no way they're buying a striker with those three on the books. No way. And the way that Nketiah's played this season at Palace, I can't see him paying big money for him. Oh, that's poor from Ederson. Chance. Created a chance there. Bournemouth have had a couple of chances in the last 5 minutes. Pretty much all from Manchester City's own doings as well. Daniel, do you think Klopp to Roma is nonsense? I'd have preferred to have seen him at Madrid. I didn't think it was... I obviously don't want to see him in Madrid. But... yeah, his agent, Mark has come out and rubbished it today and said there's no truth in it at all. He's not going to Roma. So whether or not it's just newspaper jargon or whatever, newspaper, fish and chip paper for tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, I do think Italy would be the next destination. It would make a lot of sense, I think. Italy. Rapidly growing league, Serie A again. Reese, I think Chelsea are the only Prem club that would go in for De Bruyne. Can you imagine Cole Palmer and De Bruyne behind a centre forward? That would be like your dream as a centre forward, wouldn't it? Nick A13, Bournemouth giving the match away. They're not giving the match away, but they aren't playing very well in attack. They've had maybe 2 or 3 opportunities where they could have been a lot more clinical, and they're just not doing it. They're not doing it. Pretty flat from Bournemouth's perspective. Oh, this is better. Here's Haaland. City, De Bruyne, out wide to Marmoush. Can he get it right? Daniel, your defence is trouble, and Nketiah's in the room. Reese, Hyson already tackling like a Madrid player after that yellow card. Oh, that's really good play by Kirkes. Marmoush, great touch. Really good play. Must be 2-0 City. Bernardo Silva. That was some goal from City, that. Some goal. And people said they're done. People have said they're dusted. Nah. That's the title. That's the Champions League secure for City for next season. That was a great bit of play. Really, really smart from Marmoush. Great little reverse ball into Bernardo Silva. He's had a great game so far, Marmoush. Not only has he scored a worldie, but he's just done that there. He's opened the game up for City tonight. Bernardo Silva, nice and easy. Simple finish for him, really. But a really, really clever ball from Omar Marmoush. And a wonderful touch, actually. Really, really delicate touch. It comes out for City. They knock it back into an area. And it's a lovely touch from Marmoush. And then a lovely little reverse ball back. Pulls it back into a path. And Bernardo Silva scores. No, there's no VAR, Nick. There's no VAR on that. No VAR at all. It's absolutely fine. They're all onside. Miles onside as well. Daniel, what's been the favourite tribute you've seen this week? I thought Vertonghen's daughter holding the substitution board was nice. Oh, I haven't seen that. That sounds lovely. Yeah, I haven't seen that. That does sound nice. Probably that then. Yeah, probably that then. That does sound really, really nice. Here's Semenyo getting forward for Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are just, again, they're just rolling over and having their bellies tickled here. They're not bothered. Callum, after watching today, glad we didn't get Hyson. He's better than this, mate. and today, he's not, I can't even say, like, he's not even had a bad game today. I don't know what game you're watching to think that he's had a really bad game. Like, Marmoush pinged it in from about 35 yards. Oh, that's really poor. Haaland's in. And Hyson saves him. Hyson got back and saved him that time. Marmoush pings it in from 35 yards, and then that one had nothing really to do with Hyson. It was a great little touch and a great ball from Marmoush. So you can't blame Hyson for any of them 2 goals. The only thing you could say is that maybe his booking was a little bit silly. But he's still young. He's only 20 years old. DN Marmoush might get goal of the season. It's up there, isn't it? Yeah, it is up there. It's a good bit of play. Here's De Bruyne. City are entertaining in the last day of the season. They're entertaining the home crowd. This might just get the fans up for maybe a big summer of revitalisation. Might City be back to their old selves next season? They have got a lot of quality, haven't they? Tonali v Brentford. There's a lot of great goals this season. A lot of great goals. McAllister's against Fulham. Some fantastic goals. Salah's against Brighton as well on a counter-attack. That was a great goal. I'm trying to think of others through the season that stand out. There's been loads. Here's Evan Nilsson getting into the box. I honestly, I think this is just going to peter out now, to be honest. Ooh. Unlucky. Much better, that. Much better. Daniel, who's been the second best direct import from the Bundesliga to the Premier League? The second best? Hang on, who you saying is the first best? Have we got an outright agreement on the first best? Assuming you're saying Kevin De Bruyne. I think that's probably fair. That's testing my... I've got to go back over history now. Oh, that's really good play by City down the left. It's going to be a corner. Oh, no, he's given a free kick against Araujo. Dylan, salam alaikum. Alaikum assalam. Right, just the rivals we want. Julian Araujo's been booked there for Bournemouth. According to Wiki, Nketiah went for 25 plus 5 in add-ons. Also, it has been done. Oh, must have been very nearly a goal there for Bournemouth, for City again. Very nearly 3-0 that. Whew. Didier Man and Marcus Babbel. Yeah, I mean, Didier Man, Marcus Babbel. Both of them were really solid signings, weren't they? Trying to think who else is coming over. I mean, Ballack. I thought Ballack was a really good player for Chelsea. I thought Ballack was really good. But yeah, Marcus Babbel was a solid player. I have to maybe look at Christian Fuchs as well from for Leicester City. He did brilliant at Leicester City. Cost next to nothing as well, didn't he, when he came in? Came in and won the league for him. Did really well. Owen Hargreaves for consistency and longevity. Surely that's in tongue-in-cheek, isn't it, Owen? Jake, sorry. Owen Hargreaves was always injured, wasn't he? Always injured. Reece, I think Vardy is underrated, I'll be honest. I know, yeah, I agree with that. 80 million quid, or was he nearly 100 million quid? And he's, yeah, underrated. Daniel, are you using ChatGPT? Me? No, I've got both hands in the air, mate. ChatGPT is not available to me. Not at least, I've not got a chip in my head anyway. Chance Bournemouth. Oh, unlucky. Must be. Shot from distance. Hit it. Hit it, Kirkes. That's shocking. Kirkes got it in an area and Clivert misses it. 2-0 still. It's going to be half-time. Yeah, Didier Man, Marcus Babbel, Christian Fuchs. I'm trying to think of other German players we've seen. Not Permer to Saka. Ozil. I know he came via Spain, but you know what I'm getting at. Emre Can. Emre Can was a wonderful player. If I genuinely believe that if Emre Can hadn't ran his contract down, he'd probably still be at Liverpool now. He was a top player, Emre Can. Really, like a bit like a James Milner, but he had legs and energy, and he was a leader. And his career went totally west when he decided he'd leave Liverpool on a free. Went to Juventus, it didn't work out, and now he's ended up back in Dortmund. So I think Emre Can would have been brilliant. Reece, which team is the only team to have the most red cards in the World Cup, and in which year? Kian, you scared for your watch along tomorrow? Mate, I am relishing it. Come on, Spurs. The only teams with the most red cards in the World Cup, and in which year? Right, it's half-time. I don't know. Most red cards. Probably, Germany, no. I don't know why. I've got a feeling it's an African team. Is it Senegal? It's not Senegal. I don't know, mate. Who would it have been? Right, half-time. Would you take Vardy at Liverpool? No. Oh, Bobby Firmino. Mark. Bobby Firmino. How have I forgot about him? Bobby Firmino from Hoffenheim. Yes. After De Bruyne, it's Bobby Firmino. That is it. That's it done. Done and dusted. Bobby Firmino after De Bruyne. You're not going to find a better one than that. Would you take Vardy at Liverpool? No, I wouldn't take Vardy at Liverpool. Not at all. I think Vardy could go to a number of Premier League clubs though and still be their best striker. I think Everton being one, I'd be amazed if he didn't go back to Everton. Callum, Bournemouth have been so shit. Daniel, I'd say Ballack. Ballack was quality. He was quality. But I don't think he had anywhere near the influence on the Premier League or success of Bobby Firmino. Bobby Firmino, for me, is second only to Bergkamp in terms of that false nine role. In Premier League history, Bergkamp, Firmino, there ain't much in it. But Bergkamp was better. But Firmino totally redesigned that role. I thought he was unbelievable. So yeah, Bergkamp and Firmino, they're the game changers in the false nine area. Reece Granshaw, France in the 98 World Cup. France? Really? That's interesting. Keane, would you take Bruno? Which Bruno? I wouldn't take either of them. I wouldn't take Bruno Guimaraes and I wouldn't take Certainly wouldn't take Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes don't get on Liverpool's bench. I miss Bobby. Yeah, I really miss Bobby. Reece, Mikel Arteta had more success in the Prem as a manager than Firmino had as a player. Eh? In what world? In what world did Mikel Arteta have more success as a manager? That's not true. He's not won anything for a kick-off. Won sod all. At least Bobby Firmino won a title in the Champions League. And everything else. He won an FA Cup, a League Cup, a Club World Cup, a Charity Shield. He won everything. Bobby's won everything there is to win. Mikel Arteta strolling round with an FA Cup from Unai Emery's team. Bobby won everything, Ballack never could. I'll tell you something though, Mark. Michael Ballack is one of the best players I've seen play against Liverpool when he played for Leverkusen. I think it was 2003. I think it was Julio's last year, or it might have been his second to last year. But we had a very, very good team. We went to Leverkusen, and they had Lucio, Ziriberto, Ballack, Schneider, Frings, Neuville. That team that knocked United out as well. They knocked United out of the Champions League, and they knocked Liverpool out. And Ballack in midfield. There's not many players who I can say Gerrard's been like player for player. He's not. I don't think he struggled against him, but he gave him a game. Like Gerrard was. There was a proper competition there. Gerrard was physically better, faster, stronger, taller, wanted it more than pretty much every midfielder he came up against in his career. Ballack gave him a game that night. He gave him a game that night. Kean, what about Ahmad? I'd have Ahmad maybe as backup. Yeah, I'd have Ahmad maybe as backup. He'd be better than Chiesa, but only as backup. Only as backup. He's not better than Salah. He's nowhere near as good as Salah, so obviously he's not going to get in over Salah. Mark Adams, that Leverkusen team was spot on, to be fair. Yeah, really, really good. Carsten Ramelow at the back. Trying to think of other players they had. But Ziriberto was great, and obviously all of them went to Bayern as well. We've talked about that before. How Bayern basically went and stole that entire team. Lucio, Ziriberto and Ballack within 12 months. Trap Club Lol, sorry. What do you think? Do you think Bournemouth is going to score? No, I think they've had the chances. They've missed a couple of real chances in that first half. Hit the post. One where they definitely should have scored. But to be honest, both of them chances came from City giving the ball away. City have give Bournemouth all of their chances. Whereas at the other end, City have carved Bournemouth open 3 or 4 times. And they've pinged one in from distance. This goal from Marmoush was unreal. He picks it up near the halfway line and just runs and then goes, you know what, sod it, I'm having a go. It's some strike, that. Some strike. Kean, yeah, but he's still only young and his prime is yet to come as well. That's true, but isn't it mad that you don't give that same sort of leeway to Højlund? The same leeway isn't really applied to Højlund. Mark Adams, isn't Ziriberto still playing somewhere? I think someone said he is, yeah. I'm sure he's like Brazil 2nd or 3rd division, 42, 43 years old. Something like that. Edward, when do you expect the club to announce Frimpong? And the medical's done today, isn't it? So you'd imagine in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours, he might even come out on the pitch against Palace. That wouldn't be surprising. He might actually come out on the pitch and be presented to the fans against Palace. A&M O'Brien, will Haaland score? I think he will, yeah. I think he will. I think City go on and win this quite comfortably now. They're already 2-0 up. Bournemouth don't really seem to be laying a glove on him. De Bruyne has hit the bar, from 3-4 yards out. He should have stuck it away. Haaland's been played in a couple of times, and I don't know if it's a confidence issue with Haaland. Obviously, he gave the penalty away, didn't he, at the FA Cup final? When you've got a player like Haaland, you'd always think he'd take on the responsibility, and he didn't. And I was amazed by that. I was sort of in line with what Rooney was saying, where you'd never get, Salah or a Messi or a Ronaldo or anyone, any of those big top scoring, Kane, any of them. None of them are giving up that penalty. None of them. And the fact that Haaland did, it just made me question whether or not there's Is there something going on up here? I don't know why he didn't take that. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe a confidence issue for Haaland. Nick A13, is City going to score another one or rest players? I don't think they'll rest any players. They've not got any need to rest players, have they? You know, they go to the Club World Cup in a couple of weeks, but yeah, they'll be fine. They've not... Yeah, they'll be okay. Kean, because Højlund can't handle the Premier League. Well, I mean, Ahmad's... He played under Ten Hag and didn't really seem to get much joy out of him. Højlund's a similar age profile. Maybe it's Amarim. Nick A13, it might end 3-0 here. I think 3 or 4. I wouldn't surprise me. I think City might go and get some more, yeah. City might go and get some more goals. Right. 5 minutes to the second half. I'm going to go and fill my water up. Back in 30 seconds. I'm going filling my water up. Right, I'm back. I'm back. Mark Adams, price tag and expectation got to Højlund. Daniel, if Trent makes it onto the open top bus parade, Slot should be sacked for being out of touch with the club. Yeah, mate, this is the thing. There's no way he should be on the open top bus parade at all. In fact, I think if he's even in the if he's in the squad. If he's in the squad, the squad for the final game, I'd be amazed. I think he's got to leave him out. He's got to leave him out. It'd be disgusting if he's kept in. He'll be in Madrid by then. One hopes that he will be. Trap Club Law, Bournemouth is probably going to get at least one more chance to score. Hopefully they do. I mean, yeah, I did that. The only issue, the thing that's really concerning me with Bournemouth and whether or not they're actually able to score is, I just think there's the worry is that it's all come from City's mistakes, hasn't it? It's all come from City's mistakes. So they've not created anything of their own sort of volition. Kieran, Højlund is not the sort of striker we're looking for. We need a goal scorer, not someone who holds the ball. That's true, I know, but to be honest, you've not got any money. You've not got any money. You're going to have to try and make do with what you've got. That's going to be the problem for United. They've not really got an awful lot of money to play with. Ben, can't wait for tomorrow's game. United win 2-1, I think. Possibly after extra time. Ben, stop speaking that into existence. You are a Liverpool fan. Kean Groves, we can get Osimhen. How are you going to get Osimhen? What cash is he accepting? Is he accepting food tokens or something? Because I'm sure, I mean, they're not even feeding the staff at Manchester United. So I don't know what the Osimhen's not got a chance of coming to United, I think, unless they win the Champions League and win the Europa League, get into the Champions League and have all this money coming in. Even then, I still don't see United signing Osimhen because of the amount of money that guy is going to command. Christo Marmoush, what a goal, damn. It was great, wasn't it? It was great. Under the floodlights, how many deals have been done and just waiting to be announced before the end of the season? I think most, to be honest, mate, you'd be surprised how many I think could be done in sort of February and March time. I think some have been done for quite a while. Daniel, what do you think of Vardy telling Leicester he doesn't want to play for them on the final match day? I think it's that's probably more of a symbolic thing, that, Daniel, isn't it? Because Leicester are already down. There's nothing riding on it. He can finish in the way that he wants to finish, and he's maybe earned that playing for Leicester. He's earned that, hasn't he? He wants to go out on 500 and 200. That's his thing. That's, everyone knows how much he scored. So yeah, I don't really see a problem with it. I'm sure Leicester will cut him some slack for that final game of his career at Leicester City, and wish him well wherever he goes. Ben, I hate Spurs but hate United more, so hope Spurs win, but United more European pedigree. I don't understand what this thing is, because Carragher's saying the same thing. United European pedigree. They've got the experience in the big game. It doesn't matter. It's a completely different set of players that are playing in this game. The crest on the shirt, I don't think means one thing at all. It doesn't mean one jot. I don't understand why that makes any sort of difference. MR27, with the way the season's going, I think Spurs will win tomorrow night. I hope so. Yeah, I really hope so. Ben, for Vardy to finish on 200 goals in 500 apps is just poetry. The beautiful game. Ben, Key, let's chat tomorrow after United have beaten Spurs, because that will happen. Now, if it does, then fine. I have committed to being here. There's United fans who are coming to see the hate watch. I will be here for it. I'm not going to cry off. But I get the feeling it's going to be a Spurs win. I get the feeling it's going to be a lovely, lovely night. And I'm really going to enjoy it. Under the floodlights, is it true if Inter win Champions League, 5th gets a spot? I'm hearing mixed things. Allegedly so, yeah. Allegedly so. I don't know where that's come from, because I don't think that's the case in England, but allegedly it is the thing in Italy. So yeah, if Inter win, then apparently it opens up a slot for Roma or maybe Lazio. Ben, again, I hope I'm wrong, but I have seen... but have you seen anything from Spurs that they can win? Yeah, I have seen stuff from Spurs that they can win. I mean, again, what have you seen from United that they can win? Spurs have beat United 3 times this season. They beat them home and away. They've knocked them out of a cup already. They've got one of the best attacks in the season by definition. United can't score for toffee. I'm looking at the two teams and I'm seeing, even though Spurs have got players missing, I'm still looking at them going, Spurs are the better team. They're the better team, and they want it more as well, I think. I think Spurs need this. Well, Spurs fans, the Spurs players, are yearning for this more. For Man United, I think the players are maybe... They've won these trophies, some of them. Your Bruno Fernandes's and Luke Shaw's. They've won these trophies. Harry Maguire's. They've won trophies at Man United. They're not starved of trophies. So it's maybe not as important for them as in terms of the finances. It matters more to the men upstairs for Man United. It matters more to the players on the pitch for Spurs. And I think that's what's going to make the difference at the end of the day. That's what I feel is going to happen. Jake, it's the year of the bird, Liverbird, Magpies and Eagles all winning. The cockerel, the Spurs cockerel's going to do it. You said it, mate. Absolutely agree. Ben Swiss, such an odd Europa final with both of their domestic campaigns being beyond bad. Ryan09 on the way to Bilbao. Come on, you Spurs. Yes. Isaac, opinions on Newcastle this season. Good season if you qualify for the Champions League. I still think there's a very decent chance that you don't. I think Everton are a very difficult side to beat, and if you only get a point against Everton on that last day, I really fancy Chelsea to beat Forest, and I really fancy Villa to beat United. And if that happens, then Newcastle don't get Champions League football. So that's going to be the difficulty for Newcastle. If the season finishes without Champions League football, then it's been another disappointing year. Even with the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup, great, no problem at all. They're back in Europe. That's fine. But I think from where they've been, you would have expected Newcastle to secure it. So if they don't, then yeah, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Spurs are defo your second team. You have permanent rose-tinted gigs on with Spurs. But, alright, well, evidently Man United are your second team, mate. Maybe we can't all love United. Caleb, last prediction, Prem Dad, Europa League final, no bias. What do you mean no bias? No bias. 3-1 Spurs. 3-1 to Spurs. That's my prediction for tomorrow night. I'll stick with that. Daniel, what about Real Madrid in the Champions League? What about Real Madrid in the Champions League? What? Sorry, I've probably caught that too late. Go on. What's? What have I missed? Manchester City have currently left the negotiations for Florian Wirtz. Lucas Vazquez is leaving Real Madrid. Where's he going? As a free agent. And Barca have reached an agreement with Rafinha to extend his contract. Interesting. Ben, I've said it before, us beating Spurs in the 2019 Champions League final detracted from us winning because we only beat Spurs. I don't understand why you hate Spurs. I don't have any issue. Spurs for me are just another Premier League club. Here's De Bruyne. Yeah, they're just another Premier League club. I don't know why as a Liverpool fan you hate them so much. To me, Spurs are basically Brentford or Wolves. You know, I just don't feel anything for them. Same way I'm sure they don't really feel all that much towards us. They're just another team. They're not Everton, they're not Chelsea, they're not City, they're not United, they're not Arsenal. You know, they are the teams that we've always had rivalries with. Spurs aren't. Ben, I hate Spurs more than Chelsea. Oh, you mate, honestly, how can you even say that? How can you say you hate Spurs more than Chelsea? Chelsea and Liverpool have hated each other for the last 20 years plus. Going back to when Chelsea knocked us out of the Champions League, when they finished 4th and we finished 5th, or was it 3rd and we finished 4th? I can't remember. Race for the Champions League, and Jesper Gronkiar scored in the last minute. I've hated Chelsea ever since then. And then I hated them even more when Roman Abramovich came in. And they hated us because we beat them in the Champions League and we beat them in the FA Cup semi-final. And then we just played them. It felt like we played them in big competitions every year for the next 5 years. Caleb, don't shit yourself when Bruno scores a hat-trick. Alright, Caleb. Well, hey, listen, I hope you come on tomorrow night when Spurs are lifting the trophy, mate. I hope you appear. Callum, it said the financial terms aren't a problem for Liverpool. And Wirtz, Romano. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, no, he said that earlier, Callum. He said that Liverpool are interested in Wirtz. We've made it known, and that the financial issues aren't, or the finances aren't a problem either in wages or the transfer fee. If he wants to come, then Liverpool will pay what we need to pay. But I think that's the problem. I think he's made it clear to Bayern that he wants to go there, and I think he's made it clear to Leverkusen that he wants to go to Bayern. So I just don't think he comes to Liverpool. I think whatever happens, we're going to do this whole dance, and he'll end up at Bayern. Reese, I think Ben might love a North London forever single. Yeah, no kidding. Shot from distance, smiles over from City. Edward, I have 50 quid down on Spurs 2-0. Dom Solanke to score a penalty. You've put 50 quid on that. You might as well set fire to your money. 50 quid on Don Solanke to score a penalty and Spurs 2-0. You've honestly been better off putting... You'd have been better splitting that and doing like a fiver on Pedro Porro to score a hat-trick of overhead kicks. That probably would have been better odds. Jake, Palace 3-1. Who scored? Not an Nketiah hat-trick, is it? It's not an Nketiah hat-trick. Oh, it's Ben Chilwell. Jesus Christ, Ben Chilwell scored. He's another one who's going back to Chelsea, isn't he? Free kick to City. Guardiola just got nudged over there. Oh, I am looking forward to tomorrow night, though. I am really, really looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a really, really good game. I hope. Callum, United and Chelsea are the top two sides I hate the most in the Prem as a Liverpool fan. No, listen, I'll always have a special place for Everton. I'll always have a special place for Everton. Even though Everton I've never really been a rival to Liverpool. In my lifetime anyway, for 35, 40 years, going back however long, 35 years. Don't know why I'm saying 40, I'm nowhere near 40, but you know what I mean. They've not been a rival of Liverpool's, but they're certainly a hated side. Reese, if United win tomorrow night, my day off from work on Thursday is going to be depressing. Well, the thing is, what date is it? The 22nd. We're live again on Thursday. We've got a live on Thursday night. So we'll be live. We'll be live the day after, no matter what happens. Daniel, you said previous fixtures, context or history doesn't matter. What about Real Madrid in the Champions League? I'm not sure I follow. What about Real Madrid in the Champions League? Mark Adams, special place in the toilets. Callum, same. I can't hate them, especially after the 97 and that Wembley game when we shouted Merseyside. Yeah. Right, it's a corner to City here. Nick A13, are you going to be live for the final? Yeah, mate, I'm live. Listen, you know me. I am live every single day. Live every single day. If there's a football match on and it's live, I'll be live. I will be live. I've been live for months now, every single day. I've not missed a single day. So, yes, I will definitely be live. For all of the finals. Daniel, the team can be average and turn a tie round in 2 minutes against the best teams. They can. I don't know what the context is, Daniel. It's me. It's probably me. I am absolutely shattered, but I can't follow where the context of Real Madrid comes in. Mark Adams, best Everton memory is Gary McAllister's free kick. Yeah, McAllister's free kick was good. Sadio Mane's late winner at Goodison. Origi's in Anfield. The 4-0 when Lucas Leiva had a shot from 30 yards and Klopp started laughing his head off. And we were olaying it, passing it round after an hour. Wiped the floor with him that night. Gerrard's hat-trick, 4-0. Andy Carroll, FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Bang! Great goal, late winner. Loved that. There's a lot. We've battered Everton loads of times for the most part. Edward, what game are you doing on Saturday, Key? I don't know. I need to do my schedule. I have got the games written down, but they're on my phone. So I need to actually do the thumbnails and upload them all to YouTube. So if you check back on YouTube this time tomorrow night, you'll see, assuming you come in for the live for the United Europa game, I promise that on YouTube you'll be able to see all of the fixtures that's going to be on between now and the end of the season that I'm going to be doing. Kirkes with a fabulous ball in, And it just shows that Bournemouth haven't got a centre-forward in there. What a ball in that was. What a ball in that was. The one and only Champions League next season for Man U when they win tomorrow. Spurs, that's a typo. Caleb, by 11 o'clock tomorrow, you'll be crashed out. I'm so excited. Caleb, where are Spurs going to get 3 goals from? They have no one. Spurs have scored miles more than United this season. Miles more. Absolutely miles more. Daniel, is Liverpool's form concerning going into the new season? Not really. Not really. No, because our form's been brilliant all season until we've mathematically been confirmed as champions. And at that point, we literally went on holiday in like game week 35. So it becomes really difficult to say that, oh, we've fallen off, we've had a shocker. But yeah, no, I'm not worried at all about Liverpool. Daniel, what game on Thursday? What game is on Thursday? I don't know. I've only scheduled up to Manchester United and Spurs on Wednesday night, and after that, I don't know. I don't know who it is. So I need to do the thumbnails. I need to upload them to YouTube. So if you go and check YouTube, by the time United and Spurs kick off tomorrow, you have my word. You have my word that the full schedule will be on. Callum, can Bournemouth score? Well, they're certainly pressing. They're certainly probing. They've got a lot more of the ball. Kirk has just put some brilliant balls in. It just doesn't look like there's really an awful lot of space in between the lines. Manchester City are defending incredibly deep. They're basically doing a low block. This is City doing their low block, park the bus tactics now. You know, they talked about Southampton not wanting to play football. Well, that's what they're doing right now, City. Callum, opinion on Marmoush goal. Some finish, wasn't it? 30 yards, absolute screamer. Brilliant goal. Caleb, yeah, with Madison and Kulusevski and Bergvall. Well, I know, but you could say the same about United. You could say the same about United. You know, Xerxes been your best player other than Bruno Fernandes. In an attacking sense anyway. So here's Semenyo. Must be chance. Oh, smashes it just wide. Unlucky. Really good play that by Semenyo. But yeah, like I said, the Spurs have been one of the best attacking sides in the Prem this season, and they can definitely hurt United. They can hurt United. They've got enough in the attack there with Son, with Brennan Johnson, Solanke. They can hurt United. They can hurt United. And do you know what? Even Odeber, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing. I think he can hurt United as well. I'll be a little bit concerned if Richarlison starts. I'm hoping it's not going to be Richarlison. Caleb, Fernandes better than Gerrard, clear. I can only assume, Caleb, that you aren't old enough to appreciate that comment. I can only assume that you aren't old enough to appreciate what you've just said and the absolute ridiculousness of it. Because even your Arsenal fans in the chat here are just looking at you and laughing and shaking their head. There's absolutely no... There's not... I don't know a single United fan who would even have that argument that Bruno Fernandes is even comparable to Steven Gerrard. He's not fit. He's not fit to lay Steven Gerrard's left boot. He's weak of foot. Daniel, Liverpool have done just enough to beat their opposition in league, with Salah being the difference. Since Salah's side has gone missing, Liverpool had stuttered, could carry over to next season. I think that's wishful thinking, Daniel. I think that's wishful thinking. Liverpool, the concern with Liverpool is what happens over the summer. We're going to have a lot of change, I'm sure, same as a lot of teams. But we have a lot less to do to keep the gap than Arsenal do or City do to bridge the gap. And there is a gap. Absolutely, there's a gap. We've taken our foot off the pedal for the last 4 weeks of the season, 3-4 weeks of the season, and we've still won the title by double points, double figures. So it's of no concern to me at all. These games are effectively exhibitions, pre-season friendlies now. Daniel, are Keane and Scholes overrated? I would say they're only overrated in relation to the discussion with Gerrard, because that seems to always be the one that gets brought up. Keane, Scholes or Gerrard, or Scholes, Lampard or Gerrard. It's not even close. It isn't even close. And every single ex-player who's played with them, there's not a one of them who says Scholes over Gerrard. There's not a one. Even Scholes himself. Alex Ferguson tried to sign Gerrard. Scholes got kicked out to left wing for Gerrard. Mourinho tried to sign Gerrard when he had Lampard. He tried to sign him again at Real Madrid. Zidane said the only player he ever really wanted at Madrid and he kept saying no was Steven Gerrard. Like, it's for me, it's not even a contest. So Keane and Scholes aren't overrated. They're fabulous players, and I really, really enjoyed watching them. It's not to say that they're bad players. They're just not. They're not all-timer players. Gerrard for me is in pretty much every team. Whoever, it doesn't matter who I speak to. It doesn't matter what fan I speak to, what club you support. When I ask you to name who's your all-time Premier League 11, very, very few don't include Gerrard. Very, very few. Ben, Salah has stuttered. That is unquestionable. You'll argue with that, Key, because you love to argue, but it's true. I'm like, you say Salah's stuttered, but what, mate? He's been like the best performing best performing attacker in Premier League history, with 5-6 weeks to spare. So has he stuttered? Like, well, okay, yeah, maybe he's not been as clinical in line with the team's performance. Team's been crap for the last 5 or 6 weeks. So yeah, I would absolutely agree with you that Salah's not been completely at it. I don't think the team's been completely at it. We've stuttered through to the Premier League title, haven't we? We played crap against Fulham. We played crap against Chelsea. We played crap against Arsenal. We played crap against Brighton. We've been crap for a number of weeks because we knew the title's been wrapped up. The lads have been planning barbecues and bloody holidays and all sorts. It's no surprise at all that he's stuttered because he's had his eye off the ball. I think once you get back to the start of a new season where it matters again and there's trophies on the cards, then it matters, and then I'm sure we'll see the best of him. But he's already broken any Premier League record that matters. Salah's already broken. He's broke the record for goal contributions in a 38-game season. He's very close to breaking it in a 44. Wolves 3-2. Bloody hell. Sar Larsson as well. THFC Gabe, Tottenham score tomorrow. 3-1 Spurs, mate. I'm backing. 3-1 Spurs. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Daniel, Salah did most of that work in the first 6 months. It's his own fault if he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Absolutely. Caleb Mark Goldbridge said Spurs are bums and don't know how to win. Well, listen, these are the comments that'll come back to haunt him. He said plenty of things like that before and it's come back to haunt him. Nick A13, 1-1 close game because both will be careful and then extra time. Yeah, again, it could be anything, couldn't it? It really could be anything, but something tells me that what we're going to see is that one of them will outshite the other. That's my opinion. We'll see one of them play really, really poorly and not turn up. Or there'll be like a real horror show, like a real goalkeeping error, like Onana drops a clanger or Vicario. One of them. Nick A13, except if Onana scores another own goal. Yeah. City pushing forward here again. Daniel Keane wasn't close to Vieira. That debate needs to end as well. Roy Keane was very, very good, but I think I would probably agree with you that Patrick Vieira was better, yeah. I would probably agree with that one. And again, Gerrard and Vieira were different players. I think you could have a midfield of Gerrard and Vieira or Gerrard and Keane. You couldn't have a midfield of Gerrard and Lampard or Gerrard and Scholes, I don't think. Maybe in the modern day you could have Gerrard, Scholes and Vieira. That could work, couldn't it? That could work. But the thing is, Gerrard could do everything that those lads could do. Yeah, he could do it for the most part. He could do it better as well. For the most part, he could do it better. The idea that Paul Scholes is this creative genius is nonsense when you look at his actual assist record. He was a fabulous passer, but he couldn't tackle. He never ever made a secret of that. Couldn't tackle. Wasn't great defensively. He could ping him from distance. He used to get in the box well, and he could pass very, very well. Could control a game. The old metronome type thing. That's a red card. That ref. That's a red card, sir. It's going to be a red card. He's off. He's off. It's a red card. Who is it who's sent off here? Kovacic, red card. Kovacic, red card for City. Oh, and Pep Guardiola's fuming. He's raging. He's kicking bottles. He's kicking everything over. It's a simple pass. I don't know who it is who passes it back. Someone passes it back, and Kovacic is the last man. And it's a terrible, terrible pass. Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, it's a terrible pass, and he's clean through Evan Nilsson. Evan Nilsson is clean through. It's Gvardiol. Gvardiol plays a back pass, and Kovacic doesn't read it. It's going back. It's basically like Kovacic is chasing back, and Gvardiol's passed Evan Nilsson through. It's like a great little through ball, and he's one-on-one with the keeper, and Kovacic just drags him back. It's a clear red card. Nick A13, you reckon 0-0 and anti-football? Possibly. There's always a possibility. Yeah. Kovacic walking off the pitch here. Caleb, there's no chance, bro. That is one of the worst things you've ever said. Keane is clear. I love you, Prem Dad, but that... listen, Keane and Vieira was a very, very good battle, wasn't it? It was a very, very good battle. Daniel Pep feeling the stress. Should have just conceded the goal. I know. Callum, you should just trust your keeper there. I don't think you can trust Ederson though, can you? Right, De Bruyne is getting taken off here. I think they're giving him a guard of honour. Long walk off the pitch for KDB. Nick A13, red card. Yeah, it was a red card. Kovacic has been sent off for City. Gvardiol with a back pass. Kovacic didn't read it. He was the last man. Evan Nilsson was running clean through on goal. And, Kovacic hauls him back. Very, very clear red card. Clear red card. Clearest you'll ever see. KDB with a big hug to Pep Guardiola. He walks off the pitch. And that's the last time that these Manchester City fans will see him at the Etihad. Or will it? Or will it? Will he be back next season in the red of Liverpool, I wonder? The red of Liverpool. KDB, come on. Oh, that's poor. Bournemouth with a long ball in. The 20 minutes left here. I can't see Bournemouth doing anything, if I'm honest with you. Callum's surprised they didn't take Haaland off, to be honest. Well, it was Nico Gonzalez who's come on. Nico Gonzalez for KDB. Just to shore things up in the middle of the park. And they'll keep everything pretty much as is. It'll just mean that Haaland has to do a little bit more work. And Araujo, who's on a booking, has come off for Adam Smith of Bournemouth. Is Bournemouth scoring, says Nick. I don't think so. Ederson's just been booked there, I think, for time wasting. Yeah, I can't see Bournemouth scoring, if I'm dead honest with you, mate. I just don't see it. It's not been a particularly good performance from them. It's a corner to Bournemouth, though, now. Daniel, I think he deserved the guard of honour. So did I. I am surprised that he didn't get that. You know, when we've seen Thomas Muller get one and... various others around Europe getting proper send-offs. Like, that was just a bit of a... That was like Beckham leaving PSG. Remember when Beckham finished at PSG and all the players kind of stopped and just applauded him? He hugged a few of them, then he went off. He hugged the manager, he went off. Christ, you'd get that after a hat-trick man-of-the-match performance a lot of the time. He's just got that after like 8-9 years at City. Caleb, Prem Dad, have you done that video, the starting 11 one? I haven't. The plan is to do it tomorrow before the game, mate. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow before the game. 24, shit up, boy. KDB, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Is he staying in the Prem, though? Is he staying in the Prem? He alluded to that after the cup final, didn't he? He said, I might do. Maybe. Nick A13, Tottenham have gone up in betting win. Are they favouring United? Well, Tottenham were always second favourites as long as I've been looking at the odds. Tottenham have been comfortably second favourites. I think you can get 2 to 1 for Tottenham to lift the trophy and like 1.5 to 1 for United to lift it. The Scrum Down Live, KDB, best Premier League midfielder ever. Not even close. Not even close. Oh, that's unlucky. Bournemouth from distance here now. Bournemouth are just putting a little bit more pressure on, but City are winning it back quite easily around the edge of the area. That's a great ball. Unlucky, Haaland. Really unlucky. Oh, he's in. He's in if he gets this. Oh, there's a claim for a red card here from Bournemouth now. There might be a red for Bournemouth here. It is a red card. Lewis Cook. It's 2 red cards in this game. Lewis Cook has been sent off for Bournemouth. And it's looking like a pretty bad tackle. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not sure who it is who's been tackled here, but they're saying a really bad one. I don't know who it is who's gone down. Is it Gonzalez? Lewis Cook's absolutely gone through him there. Straight red card. The ref had no hesitation. And to be honest, Lewis Cook doesn't even look like he's complaining. Let's watch this back. Adams on Haaland and then Lewis Cook. Oh, yeah, it's a little naughty, that one. Is it on Nico Gonzalez? Yeah, that's a red. That's a red. That's a red card. No. Do you know what? No, now they've slowed that down. I don't think that is a red. I wonder if there's going to be a VAR check on that. I don't think that is a red, I think that's a little bit soft, 24, shut up, boy. Yaya Toure is the best. No, he's not. Yaya Toure was very good, though. He was also underrated, I have to say. He was definitely underrated. But he only had really... That one season when he basically cost Liverpool the title, that was up there with one of the very best seasons we've seen from a Premier League midfielder. Very, very good player. Right, well, Lewis Cook's gone off here. Edward, how old is that Monaco kit? I don't know. I think it's about maybe... On YouTube, you won't be able to see this, by the way. It's down there, so you can only really see it on the other place. But is there a check here? There might be a check. Oh, no, it's not. It's Nico Gonzalez is allowed back on the pitch. Yeah, it's... It is a red card. Yeah, it is a red card. The VAR check, I think, was just to make sure that it was a red card. But there you go. Both teams now have had a red. The follow-through from Lewis Cook wasn't great. Yeah, Edward, I'm not sure when the Monaco kit was from. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago. It's got Golovin on the back. Golovin's on the back. But yeah, red card to Bournemouth. Red card to City. Not in the same incident, admittedly, but 2 of those. Both teams have had a red card. Both teams down to 10 men. 24, shit up, boy. Yaya was too graceful on the ball. And David Silva. It was a great City midfield, that, wasn't it? Yeah, really, really good City team, that. Last 15 minutes here. Nick A13, the game has froze. I'll be honest with you, I can't see anything really happening now. Both of these down to 10 men. The advantage to Bournemouth was giving them an opportunity to push forward, but now, if anything, City have regained control again. What I am getting paid then. Nice. Lewis Cook feels like he's been at Bournemouth for about 30 years. Nick A13 told you under 3.5 goals. You did. You did. In fairness, though, I think that the 2 sendings off had probably just kind of inflated that a little bit. The 2 sendings off with half an hour to go have probably killed any chance of there being more goals in this. I think it probably would have been maybe a 3-1 or a 4-0 because City are passing it about again now. Now they've gotten the same number of men on the pitch. They're actually asserting the dominance again, and City look like they're more likely to score. They're controlling the game. Nick A13, I know how City plays nowadays. They don't risk if they are in front. Jake, that's because Steve Cook played there too. Yeah, forgot about Steve Cook. Good player, him. Edison, he's going to pump this long up the pitch. Oh, and Bournemouth have got a chance here. Oh, no. Cleared away by City. Too easy. Too easy. Free kick to City. Free kick to City. They'll deal with that all day. All day. Daniel, what's the best season you've ever seen in the Premier League by a player? For me, 1, Bale, 2, Torre. No, Suarez. Suarez, 13-14. And do you know what? The mad thing is, I think it reminded me of it, how good he was when Rory Jennings did a post about it. He was talking about it as a Chelsea fan. Luis Suarez missed the first 8 games of the season and near enough broke the Premier League record. He was absolutely unplayable. You couldn't... Luis Suarez that season, I have never known a striker as good as him. Ever. Ever. Yeah, Ben, the Suarez season for sure. That's it, innit? He was scoring ridiculous goals as well. They weren't even just like tap-ins or whatever. Every goal was like unbelievable quality. Like the Norwich halfway line, the Newcastle volley from the halfway line, the Norwich hat-trick. He scored 4 against Norwich. I was at that game. And he like lobbed it over, kind of did like the Letitia lob and volleyed it in the top corner. Every goal was just unreal quality. Battered Arsenal. And if he hadn't have missed them first 8 games of the season, we'd have won that title by a canter. Absolutely smashed it. But yeah, I think Suarez would be one. Daniel, yeah, but he did play Norwich twice. So did everyone else. And it wasn't just Norwich, was it? It wasn't just Norwich. The Arsenal game at Anfield absolutely smashed you. It was 5-1 that one. 5-1 that season. United at Old Trafford, went and scored against United at Old Trafford, and he got assists as well. Chelsea at Anfield as well. Trying to think of others. Spurs he scored against. All of them, to be honest. Even City. City at Anfield he played really well against that season. Don't think he scored. I think that was the Henderson and the Coutinho goals, wasn't it? Yellow card for Bournemouth, free kick at the end. But yeah, remember him against Norwich. We were 4-0 up against Arsenal in that game, dead early. Yeah, we smashed him. Gal, wee bit biased, I know, but arguably Hazard 18-19 is in for a shout for that conversation as well. The problem I've got with Hazard is I never ever can see him as being like an all-timer in the Prem. He's up there with, he's like a Neymar for me, Hazard. It just annoys me when people talk about him being like a, wow, what an unbelievable player. I liked watching Hazard sometimes, but a lot of the time he really frustrated me. It kind of, because it was like he turned it on when he wanted, and the other times he just wasn't consistent enough. And Neymar's a lot like that, isn't he? Whereas I feel like with the others, Suarez, Yaya Toure as well, Gareth Bale, those sorts of seasons, I feel like even when Gareth Bale didn't score, you were terrified of him. That Gareth Bale season that you're talking about there, Daniel, yeah, that would be another one up there for me. Kane's had a number of seasons like that too. Kane was one I was always fearful of. Andy Cole for United as well. He had Ruud van Nistelrooy for United. Cristiano Ronaldo as well for United the season after, or the season before he won the Ballon d'Or. Rooney a few as well. Daniel, who would be your top 2 centre-back in the Premier League? Marmoush with a free kick just over the bar. Top 2 centre-backs from Premier League history would be Van Dijk and... I'm torn between John Terry yeah. It'd be or Yapstam. It'd be one of them two, and I'm so tight on it. Like Yapstam and Van Dijk would be my 2, but because they're both Dutch, then it's like a I don't know if I can. But Yapstam was incredible for United, and I genuinely believe when they sold him, I was like, oh, they're gonna well go downhill because he's like the best defender in the world, and yeah, they just didn't. But yeah, Yapstam was unbelievable. Yeah. Edward, Salah had a better season than Hazard in 18-19. That's true, yeah. Salah obviously as well. That first season Salah came to Liverpool as well. That's another one. He was unplayable. Probably disrespectful to even not mention Salah up to this point, isn't it? But he's just been so consistent. I think that consistency often goes against Salah. The fact that he just does it every season, like 25, 30, 40 goals every season, just not a problem for him. He's just so good. Daniel, please don't put Hazard with Neymar. That's disrespectful. The pair of them are crap. Honestly, Hazard and Neymar... well, Neymar, no. Hazard, that's a lie. Hazard I would have had at Liverpool because Hazard was great. I would never have had Neymar at Liverpool. Ever. Ever. Scrum Down Live. Van Persie 2011-13 was lethal. Yeah, the Man United Van Persie was very good as well. But I'd still say the Wayne Rooney and the Ronaldo and the Ruud van Nistelrooy and the Andy Cole, those sorts of players for United were much better. Ben, don't ask me how this entered my head, but how underrated was Yossi Benayoun? Listen... No, you can't. You've been hating on Spurs all night, and now you're throwing out Yossi Benayoun. Something tells me this is Ben's PR kicking in. I'm telling you, Yossi Benayoun was crap, mate. He was crap. He was absolutely awful. Hazard not comparable to that Suarez. Gow, his problem is that he had that year without scoring. That's a fair point. Jake, one of my favourite goals of all time is Torres versus United, pushing Vidic to the floor in that grey kit. Yeah. No skill Aaron Hazard versus Pala though. Behave. See, even the Chelsea fan knows that that's not true. Jake Pike 96, not sure if mentioned, but 19, 20 goals, 20 assists, 13 goals in the league. Hazard clears him. No. Lad, I'm serious. Yossi Benayoun was a good player. He was an okay player. Nothing more. And I mean okay at absolute best. We're into the last 5 minutes here at City. I think this one's going to whittle down to a 2-0. But by all means, let's keep throwing out legendary Premier League players. I'm happy with that. Who would be, if you had to name, who would be your top 3 Premier League goalkeepers of all time? Now, there's a question. Top 3 Premier League goalkeepers of all time. I think for me it's dead easy. I'm not even really worried about the 3. The 3 that I'm immediately going to are Alisson, Cech and Schmeichel, aren't they? Alisson, Cech and Schmeichel. But Van der Sar, yeah. Van der Sar. Van der Sar. I think Van der Sar gets in over Schmeichel, you know. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Schmeichel was great. Oh, Schmeichel was brilliant, but he only came to the Prem when he was 30. And there's an element of Schmeichel is a little bit overrated as well, and Van der Sar was so underrated. Cech, Van der Sar, Alisson, Schmeichel. I feel like there's only... Do you know what? I think we're going to put Van der Sar in over Cech, because I think Van der Sar, Alisson and Schmeichel, at those At the points they're in the Premier League, I think they are the best keepers in the world. Schmeichel was the best keeper in the world when he was at United. I think that Van der Sar was the best keeper in the world when he was at United as well. And I think Alisson Becker's the best goalkeeper in the world now and has been for a number of years. So, on that base, and I don't think Cech was a fabulous keeper for Chelsea, but I don't think Cech ever was the best keeper in the world. He was always just a very good goalkeeper, but there were always others who were better. It's 50-50 between Ali and Van der Sar. I think Cech misses out. I think Cech misses out. The scrum down live, Brad Friedel, David Seaman, and Schmeichel for me. Brad Friedel was a good keeper, and Seaman too, but Seaman, every time I think of David Seaman, I only ever think of 2 long-range goals beating him. The one against Naeem. If you've never seen that, by the way, if you're too young to remember that, Naeem used to play for Tottenham Hotspur, and he scored a worldie past David Seaman in the the 91st, 93rd minute or something like that of a cup final for Real Zaragoza. And Seaman got absolutely done from the halfway line. And then the same with Ronaldinho in the World Cup. That's the all-consuming image I have of David Seaman. Bosnich says Victoria Gonzalez. Ben Twist, can I give an honourable mention to Massimo Taibbi? Palace have scored again, 4-2 to Palace. Jake Pike 96, Alisson, Cech and Van der Sar for me was too young for Schmeichel. Schmeichel was brilliant, but he did have some errors as well. He did have some errors. I think the fact that Schmeichel was part of that great United side always just taints people to thinking he's this and he is a legendary character, but he only came to the Prem when he was 30, and he spent most of his Prem career bouncing after United. He spent most of his Prem career bouncing around at your cities and your villas. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he sustained it long enough. He was never. He was very, very good. He had maybe 2 to 3 very, very good seasons at United. Marmoush, 3-0. Is it Marmoush? No, it's Nico Gonzalez, 3-0 City. 3-0 City, great goal on the counter-attack. And there you go, that's it wrapped up. Great goal for Manchester City on the counter. Reece Almunia has to be in with a shout. Victoria Gonzalez, all keepers have errors in some way or another. Yeah, and again, I'll agree with that, Victoria. There is always errors in goalkeepers, but when you look at the number of errors and the number of big saves that a keeper makes, I think you can balance it out and say who's been the best. And yeah, Schmeichel. I just feel like Schmeichel is thrown out there an awful lot sometimes by people who never really watched him, because he was part of a fabulous all-conquering Man United side. But yeah, the fact that he arrived in the Prem so late, the fact that he only did it for maybe 3 or 4 years, and then after that his career sort of waned quite quickly. I think I think I would go. I'm so torn on Cech. I really can't leave Cech out of the top 3, but I have to, because he's not getting ahead of Alisson, he ain't getting ahead of Van der Sar. They're my 2 favourites. Ben Schmeichel was 28 when he joined United. I've always thought, well, don't say that. Don't say I've been throwing that out and that's wrong. I thought he was 30. Oh, alright, yeah, fair enough. He was 28. He was 28. But whatever. The point still stands. He had 8 fantastic years at Man United. Okay, fine. You've forced me into submission. I was trying to not have 2 United goalkeepers in there, and I'm trying to find reasons to not include certain ones. But I can't. I've got to try and make a big decision on Cech. Ben, here's one for you. Here's one. Best second choice keeper in the Prem. Kelleher. Honourable mention to Steve Harper. Cudicini, for me. Carlo Cudicini at Chelsea's the one. Carlo Cudicini at Chelsea. What a player he was. Callum, Bournemouth have been so poor. Daniel van der Sar was never close to Buffon or Casillas. Think of Cech before the helmet. Cech was fantastic. Cech was absolutely fantastic. And Van der Sar, again, I think Casillas gets away with it a little bit. When I think of like top goalkeepers, I want to see a goalkeeper pulling off a lot of tops. Like Courtois for me is better than Casillas. Courtois is better than Casillas for me. Casillas doesn't get in my top like elite. He was a great goalkeeper, but he played for a Real Madrid side like that just won everything. They were so same as Victor Valdez. Casillas is a Victor Valdez. He's a better version of Victor Valdez. That's what Casillas is. I know that's going to be a controversial one, but it is. There was better Spanish goalkeeper. Canizares at times was better than Casillas. Ben, Carlo Cudicini, a great shout. Cudicini was phenomenal for Chelsea. Really was. For me personally, my all-time best keeper was Bosnich, hence why I supported Villa at the age of 6. Bosnich was a very good keeper, wasn't he, Victoria? And then he went to Man United and obviously then Chelsea, and he had real issues with substance and all sorts of things. But yeah, he was a very, very talented goalkeeper. Reece Chesney was a decent second choice keeper. That's true. Ben, I always thought Reina should have been Spain's starting keeper ahead of... There you go, Pepe Reina. Yeah, I think Pepe... There's certain keepers playing for fantastic teams who get the benefit of being in front. Like Ederson, right? Ederson, think of the clean sheets that Ederson has had over the years. And the trophies that he'll have playing for City. No one's putting Ederson seriously in a debate for one of the best goalkeepers in Prem history. And yet he's been part of one of the best teams in Prem history. The same could be said for like Joe Hart. I don't think has any goalkeeper won as many Golden Gloves as Joe Hart. I don't think he has, you know. Or there's not many. Joe Hart, I didn't think he was ever that good. And you know, Matt Sells is probably going to win the Golden Glove for Forest this season. It's the same Matt Sells that got bombed out of Newcastle. He's no more than a good goalkeeper in front of a defence that's incredibly compact. And the same could be said of Casillas. Casillas was a very good goalkeeper, but he was in front of a really, really good defence that won a lot of games. So, yeah. Ossie Bias, Schwarzer will always have a special place in my heart. Yeah, Mark Schwarzer. Do you know what? I've met Mark Schwarzer as well. He's a good guy. Victoria Gonzalez, second best keeper for me, wasn't even the Premier League, was Bravo for Barca. Claudio Bravo, yeah. Costel Pantilimon. Reece Crownshaw, Pepe Reina was absolutely unreal. Steve Keane, Van der Sar. Joe Pike 96, Joe Hart had a couple of elite seasons, to be fair. He did. We've got another 2 minutes left here. Petr Cech holds the record for Premier League Golden Gloves with Joe Hart. Right, okay. There's a corner to Bournemouth here. Daniel, I would consider Ederson for the top 5 Prem goalkeepers. What, now? Now, maybe right now, if you're doing top 5 right now this season. Yeah, but not top 5 ever. Top 5 ever. If you're doing top 5 ever in the Premier League, I don't think Ederson gets anywhere close. I don't think Ederson goes in my top 10. I reckon I could name 10 better goalkeepers than Ederson. Pepe Reina's probably in there, actually. Pepe Reina would be one. Van der Sar, Schmeichel. Pepe Reina, Van der Sar, Schmeichel, Cech. Alisson. Now then. Now then. I'm really struggling now. I've really caught myself out. Anthony Amy. Nigel Martin was very, very good, yeah. No, Victoria, we're talking about just in the Prem. Just in the Prem. Can we name 10 better than Ederson? Or have I overshot it? I think I might have overshot that one. I think I've spoke too soon. I think my mouth's writing checks that me or my brain's writing checks that my mouth can't back up. It's 3-1. It's 3-1. Daniel Jebison off the bench. Ruben Dias has had an absolute shocker there. And he scored past Ederson. I think Ederson should have saved that one as well, you know. Ruben Dias, the man who talks about teams not defending or not even trying. It looked like he was about to do that as well. And Jebison runs in behind and gets a goal and City lose the clean sheet. And that's the sort of thing that's going to cost Manchester City next season if they don't tighten up the screws. City 3, Bournemouth 1, Daniel Jebison, 97th minute. Reina van der Sar, Cech, Alisson, Hart, De Gea and Courtois. Yes, sorry, there you go. De Gea, Courtois, Shea Given. Yes. Shea Given was better than Ederson. De Gea, Shea Given, De Gea, Courtois, Reina, Cech, Schmeichel, Alisson. Who else? Not Hart. Hart wasn't better. Right, it's finished here. Martinez is a good keeper. Tim Howard. Neither of them I don't think are better than Ederson. Why has no one mentioned Shea Given? Someone has. Tim Howard as well. Streets won't forget. Tim Howard, I just feel like, yeah, he's never ever going to get mentioned in the top goal. He was a good journeyman keeper. Same as Brad Friedel. Mark Schwarzer, that sort of a keeper. Been around the block. Done the time at a lot of clubs, but never quite bang up there sort of thing. What about keepers from the 80s? I mean, yeah, you could. We're not just talking Premier League. We could go back. We could do Neville Southall and all that as well. Clement and Pat Jennings. That was a good keeper as well. Plenty of other keepers over the years, but I'd still say, if we're just talking specifically Premier League, Ederson would struggle to make my top 10. Let me rephrase that. Struggle to make the top 10. Right. So, it is David James. Yeah, another good shout there. Raya wins Golden Glove for back-to-back seasons. The thing you're saying about good defence is what I think about Van der Sar. Yeah, I can understand that. United did walk the league and they had a very good defence, but they also played lots of attacking. They played attacking football under Ferguson. So Van der Sar, I feel, is a bit like Alisson. Van der Sar is a bit like Alisson in that he had to make a lot of big saves. And Schmeichel as well. Those were attacking sides. Cech is actually the more like, sitting. Cech is a lot more like, maybe not like David Raya, but you know what I mean, in the sense that the team that he played for, Cech, they didn't concede a lot of chances. He had Makelele and Essien and Lampard in front of him for a lot of the time. You know, he had Terry and Carvalho and Ashley Cole in front of him. They didn't really concede a lot of shots. Chelsea, I think, have got the record still of the lowest number of goals conceded in a season. So Cech played his part in that, I'm sure, but that's a system thing. That's a Jose Mourinho system thing and a very good defence. Given made good camera saves because he was small, but he's a good keeper. Shaka Hislop. I'm going to throw out Shaka Hislop as well. Why not? The keeper who did the Scorpion. Yeah, Rennie Higuita. Does anyone remember Jose Luis Chilavert? Does anyone remember Chilavert or Rogerio Ceni? Both keepers who used to take free kicks and score penalties. Chilavert, I used to sign him all the time on Footy Manager back in the day. But listen, right, we're gonna end the live. We're gonna end the live, right, because it's nearly 10 o'clock. I am absolutely wiped out. You're lucky you got me for this stream, to be honest. I am absolutely wiped out. I'm knackered. But we're gonna be back for tomorrow night, the big one, the one that we're all waiting for. Tomorrow night. Spurs, come on Spurs, for the sake of football. Everything is on Spurs tomorrow night, please. Spurs against Manchester United, Europa League final. It starts at 8 o'clock. I'm going to be live from 6, right? Or 6:30, I can't remember. I'm going to be live from 6:30 at the absolute latest. We're going to go live early so we can do a big build-up to it. We're going to do a big talk along and really talk about who we think the lineups are, all that sort of thing. We'll go through everything, right? We'll go through the whole meat and drink of it all. I might even order a curry and eat it in. It might be a bit of a mukbang. Let's do a Spurs v United mukbang. But I'm really hoping Spurs can do it. I'm really rooting for Spurs. Come on, you Spurs, the big one. and I will see you all tomorrow night. Make sure you've gone to YouTube and followed. Make sure you've searched Premier League Dad and give us a like and all that good stuff. It makes a big, big difference. Thank you so much for following and commenting and all that good stuff. You're absolute heroes, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. We'll continue the conversation of